Hello everybody, and welcome back to Hades. Oh yes, here we are. Doom, 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 doom. Hello, Wongo, Bongo. How are you doing? Nice to see you. Happy Wednesday. We're here. We've got our good friend Zagreus in tow. You're doing well. Good to hear. That's fantastic. Thank you very much. Okay, we've got one ambrosia. I don't know if you can. I don't think you can scroll over to those. We've got one Titan blood. We got 12 keys, 61 gems, 60 darkness, and a dream. Let's see. I don't think there would have been any upgrades. We could do deep pockets, get a little bit more gold, but I think I want to save up either to get some more boiling blood or just to get this death defiance, which is a long way off. But we can get there in hopefully good time. Hi Ariva, good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Enjoy the lurk. I don't think there's too much to do here. We already did most of these discussions. Let's have a little chat. I like
Father's not back yet, huh?
How this keeps having a thing on it as though there's something we haven't seen, and I don't know what it is because none of them pop up when we look around. These are all just decor, so like we shouldn't really be buying these until we have gems left over. I feel like I like the idea of doing the house up. I think that's a fun little touch, but I don't want to worry about spending on it too much. What color is the east wing flooring currently? I don't know. I actually don't know which bit the east wing is, because my instinct is like, whoa, the east wing's going to be over here because it's on the right, but I don't know if that's actually true. We'll also just quickly check the daily deal. I think we probably did check it last time. We could change an ambrosia into a Titan blood, but we only have one ambrosia and we haven't used it yet, so I'm going to hold on for now. Can't complain. Good, that's good to hear. I'm doing well. I just had some leftover chicken masala that I made the other day. That was very delicious. I love a good bit of curry. So, doing good. And excited to play some more Hades. I feel like the two games I'm playing on stream now, Hollow Knight and Hades, they're both games where I'm like, I just want to play more of this. Every time I get to it, I want to play more of it. I'm going to use the bow, which we did do last time, I think, but we do have bonus darkness for it.
You're no mere weapon, are you?
Now we've been upgrading the aspect of Zagreus, so I think for now we'll stick to that. I won't spend another Titan blood because if we change weapon later, it'll be nice to be able to at least unlock one of the other aspects potentially. I have heard good things about this aspect of Hera. You were talking about that, Wongo. I'm interested to try that, but obviously we can't unlock that at the moment. So let's just go with what we have. And in terms of the pendants, we have the owl pendant now from Athena. I think the gods are all, as far as I can tell, all the god pendants are the same. They just are going to give you a guaranteed boon of a slightly higher rarity chance. I'm going to say this distant memory. I remember this being pretty good last time. You want a curry? Yeah, it's nice. It turned out nice. I didn't make anything with it. Sometimes I'll make like a vegetable curry or like a lentil, like a tarka dal or something with it, but I didn't do that this time. I just kept it simple, but it was very nice. I have one portion left, which I may have tomorrow. We'll see. But yes, I'm looking forward to playing some more Hades, and it's interesting. I feel like I said this last time, every time we've made progress, every time we've reached a new area or met a new boss or beaten a boss that we previously hadn't managed to beat. Last time, we made it to the House of Sticks and we walked out the front door and we ran into Daddy. And we challenged him, which means to progress more than we have previously would be to beat Hades in combat. I don't know if that will happen today. I'm not going to put too much pressure on it.
Last time I felt a chill like this was on the surface, but who?
Ah, okay, a new boon.
Hades. Olympus, I accept this message.
It was snowing when we went outdoors, remember?
I understand, young Zagreus, that you would seek to leave that bitter darkness for this bitter cold. Quite honestly, I fail to see why. But I'll aid your plight, why not? For I can offer plenty of assistance, and you soon shall grow fond of it, I think.
Demeter is cool. Right. Very good. Very good. Yeah, it is very good about always feeling like you're doing something new, something new. Chill. For 8 seconds, victim is slowed by 4%, can stack up to 10 times. I mean, that's quite good for us. Your cast drops a crystal that fires a beam at foes. I do like the sound of that. Or your dash shoots a gust ahead that inflicts chill. Ahead is interesting because it feels like, you know, why would you you would almost want it to be behind for enemies that are chasing you, but I think that's still interesting. So this takes it down to 8, and it lasts for 5 seconds, and you get 5 procs a second, so that's 25 procs, right? So you're going to be doing like a lot more damage than the 50 base. You know, you're going to be looking at 160 plus another, so like 200 damage over 5 seconds, something like that. Good with the aspect you use on the bow. Oh, that actually does sound interesting. Yeah, that actually really does sound interesting. Hard to get max damage. Yeah, that's true, because obviously the it's not going to necessarily always be hitting enemies. But I'll try it out. I'm interested. This sounds the most unique of the buffs that she's given us. Okay, so it does home in. Oh yeah, I see what you mean though. In terms of like, it seems to track a little bit, but maybe not perfectly if the enemies are moving around. We have our cast every 3 seconds, so I'm interested to see, you know. So okay, so the way you aim it, it will slowly turn to face them, but obviously you kind of want to get it on target to start with because it won't turn very quickly. I'm just going to do this. It's pretty satisfying. I've not used my bow at all.
The power of the
Which,
gods.
okay, and we get an upgrade because that's the only thing we have. Last time we used the bow, we had the explosive shot, which is a really slow charge. So this feels incredibly fast now by comparison, but obviously a lot less damage. You like fire? Yeah, firing at the bow seems like it could be interesting. I definitely interested to see, because when like just reading that, it's like, well, I'm not quite sure how this interacts. Oh, I'm standing on a trap. I was like, I took damage from something there. The only other thing is like, does this penetrate? It doesn't seem to. But I could be mistaken about that. Took a bit of unnecessary damage there. I just need to get my head back into Hades' brain, I think. And not just walk into stuff. Okay. Interesting. Well, more darkness is kind of what we're looking for right now, I think, in terms of progression. So, in terms of things that aren't necessarily going to help us with the run, like longer term upgrades, feels like a pretty good thing to get. I didn't actually hit there. I see, there's our crit chance proccing. I'd actually forgotten that we had that. Oh, and we get the bonus attack if we near miss as well, which I hadn't really considered, but worth bearing in mind. And a cheeky backstab. Just check there's no obvious gold pots around. Yeah, getting warmed up after our encounter with Demeter. Okay, we got options. We get more health, which is always good. We get a hammer, which I think is always nice to do because it kind of helps you settle on what your build is focusing on for the run.
Ringers.
I've never seen these before. What are these things? Okay, we got a nice crit there. Okay, perfect. I just want to see what those are. I'm very intrigued. They'll be presumably under perilous foes somewhere. There's a lot of perilous foes. Ringer. Among mortals, thievery is among the most despised of crimes, resulting on occasion in thieving hands being taken from their owners. As it turns out, they remain separated even here. So these are the hands that are cut off thieves, which is an intriguing concept.
My weapon's hidden talents.
Okay, your attack fires 3 shots in a spread. That sounds great. Hold attack to shoot rapidly, but you cannot power shot. This would be great if we had picked up the chill effect. But obviously we didn't do that. Your power shot is easier to execute and deals 150% damage. That sounds pretty good as well. This is basically like pure single target damage. Versus like this is obviously going to do potentially 200% damage if we nail it. I'm going to try the triple shot. I'm interested to see how it feels. Okay, so it is pretty widespread, so it's going to be pretty difficult, apart from on the biggest enemies, to hit them all at once. But against crowds, it's going to be quite nice. Obviously, the other thing is we do have this for crowds, but I want to try out the triple shot, see how it feels. I feel like the others is kind of fairly self-explanatory how they work. Although I will say, maybe not the rapid shot. Not immediately apparent how that works, but these guys, similarly to our laser beam, actually, they're pretty much the same thing. They take a long time to turn around to face us, which is... So you can always use that to your advantage. Seems like this doesn't hurt us as well, which is always worth checking. Like the beam doesn't seem like it actually affects us. We can stand in that without any trouble. Now we could go down here. 22 health off would leave us with just 15, which is not very much, unless we can get something out of the well here. Okay, we could restore. I mean, this is back to full health. I think this is probably worth doing. That does make the buff, which I like, and I do like taking the chaos buff. So let's give it a go. Let's do a gamble. I'm very tempted by chaos. You know, it's picking up early in the run. If you do mess up and you die, it's not the end of the world.
Recently beyond my senses, son of Hades. I persist here only in the fathomless depths. I know what lies out there, having created it, but I know nothing of what it is like right now. Do not tell me. I prefer to think of all the possibilities.
I'm a big fan of Chaos's design. One of my favorite designs, I think, in this game. Okay. For your next encounters, slay foes toss an inferno bomb, an explosive so caustic it can even harm the Prince of the Underworld himself. So, you know, I guess, whatever. The enemies will throw bombs when they die, which is fine. Each time you attack, get hit for 3 damage. Afterwards, gold is worth 75%. Or take way more damage from traps, but deal extra damage striking foes from behind. I'm going to try this because we actually have a way to not attack. It's going to be a little bit strange, but I think the extra gold could be... Extra gold is pretty powerful because you can go to... If you can go to all the shops, you can buy a lot of stuff with it. Okay, looks like we only have one option here.
Sorry, wrong chamber.
Oh, I don't know if I've seen this guy before. Who are you? Oh, he hits pretty hard. He's like dashing in on us. Okay, he's hitting pretty hard. Seems like you just need to be ready to move as soon as he teleports. He's always going to try and aim at you. Oh my gosh, he really is tearing us apart. This is a hard fight. This is a hard fight to come in not without an attack as well, I will say. Oh, I ran into that one. Oh gosh, she's gonna get us killed. He's so scary. Okay, well we got him. Barely. Oh dear, that was Oh, you can use special. You know, I didn't even consider that. That's good to know, thank you. I forgot that special is not considered an attack.
Oh, don't lose heart, nephew. Because in spite of all your efforts, it is probably the case that you still have a long and painful road ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if we have a long road at this point, but we'll see. 42 dash damage is pretty good. Special deals more damage and knocks foes away. That's kind of nice. This is a good big dash, which I'm into. It's a good amount of damage. I think we probably take the... oh, there's a...
The most violent wretches of Tartarus are sealed away even from other condemned souls. Their only visitors, those fool enough to attempt escape.
Let's do this again sometime.
Okay, I think we go here. This is probably going to be Sisyphus, which will at least give us some health. Which I think is probably actually what we're going to have to take here.
Aren't you a sight?
Hey, sir.
If I may be so bold, Your Highness, I was wondering, what brings you back around this way again? Same story as last time?
Yeah, you know, pretty much the same thing each time.
Look, I have to level with you, Sisyphus. I'm leaving the house. I've had quite enough. You understand, I'm sure. I'm going to the surface.
Oh, that is quite an undertaking, Prince. If it wasn't you yourself proposing it, I'd like to call it madness, truth be told. Though you're just mad enough to pull it off. Well, hey, I hope you make it. Good fortune out there.
Thank you very much, Sisyphus. I'm going to take this healing. Not ideal, not really what you want to take necessarily, but given the circumstance, I think we really need to get a little bit of health back. Now remember, we still can't attack, so... But we can use our special, as Wongo pointed out, so...
Oh no.
I think this is a survival.
Stop him, wretches.
We had this last time.
Got their attention. That's what you get.
Keep moving around.
At least I'm picking up some coin.
Fine, get out.
That ended slightly earlier than I was expecting, but I'll take it. Okay. We got our max life up, which is good. We don't have a ton of cash. We do have enough to potentially go, but we're not going to be able to buy very much. I think 125 and 150 are really what we're looking for. I think we just take the heal and we go into the money room. Cast dealing bonus damage for 6 encounters. That's actually, for the cash that costs, is pretty good. Our cast is pretty powerful.
I can use this.
I will take that. I don't normally dig too much into the little chaos trinkets, but
Come on.
feels like with what we have at the moment, it could be quite strong to have. And they're really spitting them out here. Yeah, see the risk with the faster enemies that obviously like the beam doesn't always track them super well. Ooh, a little bit of a hit there. Yeah, we just keep them focused on us. That's going to do us well. Okay, that did the job.
Have here.
We get our money. Look around for any 25 gems. We could do a trove trial for 25 gems. We are still unable to get health, but the gems would be quite nice to have. I don't know how quick our clear time is going to be without attacking, but we'll see how we do.
Come and get it.
Okay, I don't know how quick that was, but we didn't take any damage, so no real downside. We only get 10 gems, but 10 gems is pretty good. I think a normal room payout is 5 gems,
Hang on to these.
at least in Tartarus, so that's a pretty good amount to get, to be honest. I think keys, I think we do want to unlock more mirror aspects primarily more than... There's some good stuff with the gems, like getting more money in those in the urns, although we haven't really seen any of those urns this run. I feel like the first couple of times I had that, I was seeing tons and tons of the urns that have money in, and now I feel like I'm not seeing as many. Right, one more room, then we're going to have to make it through. Okay, that's nice. The damage you get off that is pretty good. And if you use the use your special to break them so that they don't move. There we go. We did take a little hit there, but not too bad. Okay, and there we go. Our Chaos Boon has evolved. Our money is going to be worth more. Our cast deals 50% damage. That's just from this thing that we took, which has been really nice in this first couple of rooms. Nothing else really to know, except we can use our attack again, which is nice. I don't see any, still don't see any of the chests, the money chests, which I'm always on the lookout for. Usually they're a little bit more glamorous. Now we do have enough money that we could probably go to a shop now. I don't think we'd actually get very much out of it, is the only thing. It would be okay, but we could at least buy a boon. But I think I almost want the guaranteed boon for free. Well, not free, but we have to fight for it. But okay, we're going into a boss fight, but that's okay. We have decent health.
Must mean the goddess of seasons decided to take an interest in your struggle, Zagreus. I did not count on Demeter being a part of this. Take heart, though use discretion around her.
Okay. Specialist strong on deflect. That's actually kind of... I was kind of hoping for a deflect of some kind. Holy Shield actually sounds really cool. I don't know how briefly deflect is would be my question there. Because the idea of briefly deflecting after you take damage sounds great. Stop you getting hit multiple times in succession. Actually, you know what? Let's try it out. Let's try it out. I'm always a little bit wary about ones that require you to take damage, but it seems like it could be a pretty powerful thing if it stops us taking damage too often. You think special? You think special stronger? See, I'm interested in this. My instinct would be to take the specialist stronger. The part of me is like, well, I've already used it before. It's not a fated prophecy. And the other one would be... I would be interested to see how good the deflect on this is. Like this 5% reduced damage just doesn't feel worthwhile. Okay, we'll go with the Divine Flourish for now. I say that would have been my natural instinct. I like deflecting. Deflecting's cool. And having a stronger special would be nice. Look at it. Look, I tell you what, it looks bloody fantastic. That is a really good effect. Look at that. Whoa. Think of it as 5% more health. Yeah, I suppose so. Yeah, that was the other thing, is the fated prophecy. I'm interested in the shield. The shield sounds like it could be good, but it really depends what we're going up against. I think we still have bonus cast damage as well, which will be nice.
Hello.
Hi, it's Meg. Old familiar.
You've really done it, Zagreus. My sisters have returned. All three of us now share the same assignment.
I suppose, yeah, thinking about a 5% more health is good, but that's the thing is, like, it's such a small amount. And I always wonder how it works of, like, if... I'd be interested to see the maths on it. Like, if an enemy does, let's say, 5 damage, what's 5% damage reduction on 5 damage? Because it's less than 1. So, like, does it go down to 4 damage automatically? In which case, it's kind of better, because it's basically doing 20% damage reduction. Like, if it always guarantees at least 1 damage reduction... But I don't think it would, because that seems weird. Yeah, the one that deflects on dash is amazing. I love it so much.
Is it wrong of me that I'm somewhat honored to have garnered the attention of the Erinese?
Oh, I would say it's very wrong of you indeed.
Ah, that was foolish. Oops. I dashed straight into the trap there. That was foolish. It's so wide as well. That deflect being as wide as it is really nice. Okay. Oh, I dashed straight into that. This is where having the single dash is like a little bit dangerous. Ah. Damn it. I should have done better there. That's I think that's the rustiness getting to me.
Meg.
But hey, you know, there it is. It's a shame. I feel like we had some good stuff on that run, but it was weird. It was like a weird thing to one of those ones you have to adapt because they all feel a little bit different.
Ha! Megra the Fury got you again. She is unstoppable, isn't she? One time, I tried to stop her on the way to have a chat with your dad, and she didn't even turn her head.
My condolences.
I'm almost kind of glad Meg beat us for once because she has a rough time of it. Let's say we gave her that one.
You are not to aid him in these matters, Nyx. His foolishness is to be scorned and reprimanded, not indulged. Do we have an understanding?
We have an understanding, Hades, yes. He is your own son, after all, and therefore your responsibility. I, in turn, have my commitments to this realm and to this house. You have aided me in them, so I remain, as ever, in your debt.
It is not necessary to remind me. Surely all those who once defied my brothers and myself would much prefer a post within my house over eternity within the lowest depths of Tartarus. Not that the darkness there would trouble you.
I hate it when they fight.
Hey, buddy.
I hope I haven't been inconveniencing you too much with all the visits to the temple lately, boy. Say, how do you get back? Charon giving you a lift?
Thus asks the prince his question of the guardian of the gates of hell, knowing full well the multi-headed monster keeps a wide berth of the river boatman. As to all with any sense.
Ah, I like Karen. Karen seems pretty rad. Just hanging out, vaping, doing his thing.
You are the best, you know that, don't you, boy?
I love the yellow tongue. The yellow tongue's a great little touch. Fantastic color coordination, Cerberus. And the little green noses as well. Fantastic. Dusa! Hey, how's it going?
Prince, your father, I think he's pretty steamed right now about something, so maybe you could stay away from him, or I could tell him you're not here.
That's quite alright, Dusa. I'm not afraid of him, and neither should you be. You're the best help he's ever found.
Just doing my job here, Prince.
There she goes. She's away. Bless her. What an angel.
Hey, look at what I got out there, Achilles, sir. A vintage bottle of ambrosia plucked straight from Elysium. I hear this stuff is very good, but can't even open it. I've no idea what to do with it right now.
The drink of the gods. I hear it's good, all right. But only for recipients with whom you're close. Perhaps hang on to it until it's ripe for use? Somebody would be grateful, I am sure. Or it could fetch you something from the wretched broker over there.
Noted.
So keep it, huh?
So keep it until we have someone we really want to use it with. Oh, I love everything about Dusa. Dusa's the best. She's adorable.
Orpheus, forgive my bluntness here, but I have to ask. Why won't you sing? You were a legend, mate. Our court musician.
Proper ledge, mate.
Why, it's that I've lost my muse, my friend. It isn't harder to explain than that. Have you not had such moments in your life where you had lost the will to chase your passions?
I can relate to that, you know. I know how it is sometimes.
I suppose I have, yeah. But recently I found my drive again. And that's why I have to get out of here.
And I am truly happy for you, friend. Alas, I've had no luck in my own search. Not that I'm searching any longer, so I'll just be over here, okay?
I hope Orpheus finds his muse in the end. Okay, update the codex to handle the Prince Reach. I mean, we have seen this before. I wonder how actually useful this is. I am contemplative of it, but also wary that, you know. Picture of Cerberus, eh?
Cerberus, featured house servant.
Adorable. Love that. I love how there's like an employee of the week on the wall. That's what it seems to be, as far as I can tell.
The ancient casks of wine hidden within the recesses of the House of Lord Hades. Few have tasted the intoxicating vintage they contain, and fewer still are permitted anywhere near their vicinity.
Still waiting for the festive occasion when we'll open one of these.
I'm a big fan of all the... They got so much fish here. They're going all in on the fish. Loads of... I don't know if these are meant to be pomegranates, like giant pomegranates, or if they're meant to be just red onions.
What's up for barter?
50 darkness for a nectar. Unfortunately, we don't have a nectar. I would actually probably take that. We could trade 5 keys, but I don't think I want to do that. I was almost contemplating buying 6 more keys, just so that we could get the next thing unlocked. But you know, I don't want to fiddle around too much with the progression unnecessarily. I mean, I say that it's obviously designed to be done that way.
I'm wide awake.
Don't think there's anything we're doing here.
I'm growing stronger.
We could get more boiling blood. But this is obviously a thing we lost with that specific buff that we had last time. I would love to see those new talents as well, but I think that's going to have to wait for now.
Hey. Say, Skelly, don't suppose you'd care to tell me how the infamous twin-fisted Malphon came to be right here in this very courtyard, would you?
Nope. Not any of my business, pal, which is to say I didn't see a thing. And even if I did, it isn't what I'm paid to do. Don't you have someone in your fancy house there paid to keep watch over stuff like that? Ask them.
All right, maybe I will.
I've forgotten who voices people, but I have a feeling that both Zagreus and Skelly are voiced by Darren Korb, who is the composer of these games, which is a great touch. I could be wrong on that one, but I think that's accurate. Right, what weapon are we using here? Looks like we're going back to the gun, which I'm all for. The gun's the one we got the best run on last time.
What infernal forge created you?
I like the thing that we had here, the aspect of Hestia. I think maybe... So I was, last time we played, I was using it, I was basically shooting once and then reloading. And I think the DPS is pretty good that way, but I do actually think that maybe we should just not worry about it too much. Or not worry about, don't get too hung up on not just using the little shots if you can. Last time it made sense because we had a thing that gave us bonus damage on our first shot, so it made sense for the first shot to always be the one we took. And given that we're using the gun, I will keep the extra ranged damage because I think that could be good. The gun is great. It's weird. I feel like last time I felt like it felt like we had so little damage, and yet we made it through the furthest we've gotten. So you never know, huh?
You're not to speak of that accursed Mount Olympus in this household, do you hear me? Nor shall you invoke the names of its inhabitants.
Yeah, give it the old pew pew pew. I love how he gets like a big thing above him. Whoever he's talking about is just Olympus.
At last I know the gods more than by name.
Aha. Okay, starting off with a hammer. Hazard bomb. Special deals 300% base damage in a large area. It can hurt you. I think that one's interesting. Foes targeted by your special move slower and take 30% damage. Targeted by your special is interesting. I presume that means like anyone who's in the area when you fire it. Or attacks seek the nearest foe and deal 10% damage. That sounds really good, actually. I think one of my things with this, with the gun is that sometimes it can be a little awkward to hit fast-moving targets. I'm interested to try this. It sounds actually like the least potent of the three. I really like the sound of this hazard bomb, but I want to try the seeking fire out and just see how it feels.
Armed and ready.
Like, cause you know, hitting enemies not too difficult, but if it's gonna make especially with this, where obviously the first shot we fire, there's lining it up perfectly can sometimes be a little awkward, whereas now we basically have a guarantee that the first shot we fire is probably gonna land, as long as there's an enemy within. I wonder how seeking they are. Like if I aim like all the way over here, okay, well maybe it won't actually let me do that because there's only single enemies at the moment. Perfect. It feels nice so far. I also say that the effect on it is fantastic. Now again, take another chaos here. Or we could go for some Artemis, or we could go for some health. I'm gonna go to Artemis. See what Artemis is offering this time. We haven't seen Artemis for a little bit. That's interesting. Oh, it bounced off the wall. I was like, why did it come back at me? But I guess it bounced off the wall, which is something to bear in mind if you're using the thing that affects. Makes it do more damage but can hurt you.
Hey, you're not alone. You're not alone down there, okay? Here, let me show you.
Ah, thank you, Artemis. Artemis is a pretty high tier design for me. I like Artemis. Simple but works really well. I like the little owls on her bow. I like her headdress. I like how she's doing like a Spider-Man thing with her other arm. Special is stronger with a 20% chance to deal crit. That's pretty good. Cast seeks foes with a chance to deal crit. Cast seeking foes is kind of nice, given that, again, easy to miss the cast. Dash strike deals more damage. The special is so strong that having bonus crit damage on it would be pretty nice. I'm going to take this. It gives us a good AoE. The gun is very, very single target, so having more AoE damage is nice. And looks like we're going to get some nectar, which is good. I actually genuinely didn't think he'd reach me there, but I suppose that's my own mistake. I always underestimate how far these enemies move. Also, they don't get, once they start their attack, they actually don't get knocked out of it.
Doesn't love this stuff.
At least not by the gun. Okay, nectar. Nothing too fancy there. Just a quick room with some nectar in it. Always start with a reload. Oh, the other thing I've forgotten about is when you dash strike, you actually fire a little bit faster for the first couple of shots. Seems like maybe that's not the case with the yeah, maybe that actually isn't the case with the aspect that we're using, because the first shot is a little bit slower. But you see, if we're not using that, you get a faster... Also worth noting, you have to manually reload to get the bonus. There's a thing over here. See, hitting like a single target like that when it doesn't lock on, sometimes a little weird with the gun. 10% health. This is 5 health per chamber for 3 chambers. It's pretty good. I don't feel like we're doing too badly for health, but the gentle top off will be okay. And we've got enough gold that we'd be able to buy a thing. If we got to a chamber, if we got to a shop, we'd still be able to buy a boon anyway. So, and also this will allow us to take gold, or we could take darkness and get more darkness. Let's give Sisyphus. Have we given Sisyphus a gift? I do want to check that before I... looks like no, we haven't. So let's give Sisyphus a gift. What is it? Right trigger, there we go.
Hey sir, thought this might ease your burden for a while.
He's been working hard. I mean, I say that, he's been hardly working, but, you know.
Now hold a moment, Highness. I cannot accept something like this. Not without giving back a little something in return, that is.
He is a tortured soul, so...
Thanks for that, sir.
Deserves a little something.
Hey, quick question, Sisyphus. You seen the other Fury sisters lately?
Not seen the other Fury sisters in some time now that you mention it. Just Megara, the kindly one. And she is quite a handful on her own. I'll keep an eye out for the other two.
It does say a lot that the other sisters make Meg seem like the nicest person around. So we could take more money here, which would be pretty good if we were going into a shop. You can't see what's coming up until you take the reward, unfortunately. I almost want to see how much darkness you get from him, because we've never taken darkness before. But it's such a long way to get the thing that we want that it's not like this darkness will immediately like bump us up. You know what? I'm going to take it. I'm going to see. I'm going to see.
Certainly, Highness.
71. That is actually a lot. My guess is that it was 65 and we got the 10% bonus. Is it a 10% bonus you get? Oh, it's a 20% bonus. Interesting. So it might have been 60 gone up to 71. Which isn't, that maths doesn't actually quite work out. So I don't know if that's actually... It does say whenever you find darkness. Oh, actually, how much did we have? Maybe it was 71 and we actually gained 21% on top of that. Because I think we only had like 60. And we got almost 100 out of it in total. So I actually think we got the 20% after the pickup. I'll have to try and check that if we find more darkness later.
Let's go, Steve.
Oh, it's our favourite person. This new nightmare boy. I want to put my cast in him. Okay. Oh, the backstab when he gets in on you is the dangerous thing. Okay. Not too bad.
Takes care of
but he's tough. He's maybe the scariest mini boss I've seen. for the first level.
By the elusive Artemis, correct, nephew? She shies away from most of us, so if she's taken somewhat of a liking to you, great.
Poseidon seems kind of chill. Epic Sunken Treasure. We probably get quite a bit for this. Or we can get permanent upgrades for the rest of the run. Like 55% for the rest of the run. This is one of those questions where, like, presumably this would be better long term. It just depends on how long the run goes. You think you'd take the Sunken Treasure over the bounty upgrade? Okay, well, it is epic, and we get it straight up front. Okay, so hang on. How much darkness is here? 12, right? And we have 155. Okay, so we did just get 12 there. Noted. We got a lot of money, though. I want to get more health. We don't have a ton of health. Our skills are pretty... Well, our skills are okay. We've only got... I don't even know. I don't think these can be upgraded by POMs. So actually, I think the only thing we have is the Deadly Flourish, which would not be the worst thing to upgrade, but we should probably get a little bit more health. We're a little low at the moment. And granted, we can buff that up later, but... I think I need to start manually aiming this more. I keep trusting the auto aim. But even just like a quick auto aim or quick manual aim gives you so much more control. Over where it lands.
Don't cross me again.
Okay, bit more health. Always welcome. And we're probably going to go to the shop here. Gems are okay, but we got lots of money. We'd probably buy the shop out. You have a... Oh, there's a charm that gains health as you play. That does sound good, yeah. Healing was the big perk for the bounty. Yeah, that's true. Healing is always nice. Okay, well, we don't need to heal here, which is great because it means we can take both boons. I am going to take Zeus's first. I don't think it doesn't usually matter. Let's talk to Charon first. He has something to say.
Hi, Charon. I finally met Hermes, god of swiftness, travel, bringing souls of the departed to your boat. Calls you his professional associate. You and you've been working together for a while, haven't you? You don't say.
Always worth looking around as well. Sometimes Charon shops do have valuable urns in. There's no indication on this. I always want... They're very close together, and I don't want to buy the wrong thing.
Should help keep me going.
Okay, chain lightning seems like it's probably pretty great, and especially with it being epic on the gun, because obviously we shoot a lot of times. So this basically massively... I think our gun does like 15 damage a shot or something, or maybe 10 damage a shot by default.
You're well familiar with my professional associate there with the boat. Souls of the recently departed gotta make it over to the underworld somehow. Part of my job. I bring them in, he takes them down.
Speak of the devil. An extra dash would be quite nice. Little bit faster. I presume this is just like it goes from 3 seconds to 2.75, which is okay. More move speed. More move speed, very nice to have. 2 dashes does give you a lot of versatility. It's tough choice there. The move speed also very nice for repositioning. Yeah, we only have 1 dash because we have the I have the dash that gives you bonus things if you dash before you get hit, which means you'd only get the single dash instead of the double dash. But having a double dash, kind of nice. Yeah, I think if I had the double dash already, I would probably go for the move speed. I do actually quite like the move speed, especially on the gun in particular. Just to stay out of range of enemies. Hi, Carl, good to see you. And we're on.
Say hi to Hermes for me.
I like how he says say hi to Hermes, like we just saw Hermes.
Ready.
Oh, that chain lightning is nice. I didn't manually reload there. Okay. That has increased our clear time quite a bit. The
all of us on Olympus rallied to assist you just as best we could. A family such as mine protects its own.
Zeus, last time I did a run, you were helping out Theseus. Chain lightning effects bounce more times before expiring, which sounds pretty great. I wonder if they can. I don't know if they, can they bounce back and forth between the same enemy. The static discharge is called the jolt. So when they next time they attack, they hurt themselves in like an AOE. I'm tempted to take this. I'd be interested to know if there's two enemies, if the chain lightning can just go do 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 do, but it only does 15 damage a time. So basically, we'd get 30 more damage off an extra 2 bounces, whereas with this, you're going to get 84 damage. And granted, it's not all the time because they have to attack, but it's almost triple the damage. So
is my hair sticking up?
That would be my inclination. I see Wongo is in agreement with that. We can probably do this, except that it's not much use because it's just restoring health. Darkness. Darkness is the way, I think. We definitely want to prioritize darkness. I mean, we do want gems because there are good gem upgrades, but someone over at the back here. I just got stuck in a corner. Where are you? I think his thing fell down the hole. 30 darkness there. Okay, so that must already have the thing applied to it, unless the number, the plus number is lying. I'll have to check the VOD on that and see how much I'm actually getting. But presumably that would have been 25, and then we get an extra 5 with a 20% bonus. And in fact, we've got another darkness room ahead. Getting loads of darkness, which again, it's interesting, right? Because the more upgrades you get for the long-term meta game, like, that's great. But, you know, it doesn't help you with the run. So it is kind of questionable about, would you rather have things that are going to help you beat the run?
Yes.
Or would you rather have good rank on the chain lightning as well, or good range? Sorry, not rank. Ah, didn't dash there. Okay, easy does it. Not as much out of that one, but it's, you know, it's an easier room than the boss room ostensibly. Although I don't always know that that's the case. I feel like I deal better with bosses because I deal better with like complicated single target fights. When there's a lot of stuff happening on screen, I tend to get more confused. All right, we have a lot less money this time, so I think we'll take the POM. Just want to check that we haven't missed anything obvious. Doesn't seem like it. And we're going to be going into a boss fight.
Delicious.
Okay. More chain lightning damage, pretty good. That jolted damage is like basically 50% better, which is a pretty big upgrade. I think I'm going to take this because that is quite a big damage upgrade when the jolt procs. Sometimes it's tough to notice when the jolt's proccing. You have to keep it a bit more of an eye on it. My brain tends to filter out damage numbers unless I'm specifically looking to see what they are. But it does feel like a good thing to do.
I bet it's Meg again.
Now you said that, it won't be. See?
Again.
Good. Good
Oh,
job,
she has the
Roguelike.
rage.
You made it all this way, but I have got to send you back to Daddy now. Nothing personal.
Good voice, I'll say that. And actually, I really like her outfit. Her outfit's pretty cool. The red and the black. The like the like sports tights with the crop top dress. Not crop top dress, but like the high cut dress, I guess.
Wood with Father next time, so you can come visit us at the house yourself.
Oh, you know, I'd rather have my eyes put out, but thanks for offering. Now, time to head on home.
Now we do need to be careful with her because she does do.
There we go.
She has like this rage meter that builds up. That I think we want to make sure we don't let her build up. Our damage is pretty good though. I feel pretty good about that at least. Her rage is full. I keep forgetting my cast as well. Okay, well she's dead. We took a little bit more damage than I would have liked at the end there. But
get out.
We are alive. And we get 60 darkness. So we're getting probably 50 and then a bonus. Oh, a couple of things in here as well. It's nice. A couple of gold repositories. Our damage is good. I need to remember to use my cast. It's 30% extra damage. When there's a single target fight like that, I really need to be using it, and I just keep forgetting about it. Okay. We'll try the purchase first. I'll take the...
Should be useful.
This is a really good. I was really sold on this on that last run that we did. I don't necessarily think we want to sell anything here. Do I want to swap out my trinket, my extra damage trinket, to get more health maybe? Not at the moment. I would like to keep upgrading our trinket. I don't know how close it is to upgrading. But we'll carry on with it. I like the extra range damage, and I feel like we're only going to use that on the ranged weapons. It feels... The shield, maybe you could use it. The other weapons do have range. I wonder if the spear is long enough that you can actually get the bonus at max range. I'd be interested to know. Be easy to experiment. Oh, okay. Oh no, that's a tick saying we've got the diamond. I was going to say we should. I thought we'd already done the Hydra.
The Bone Hydra awaits.
One of the other nice things about the gun is because it fires so quickly, it's when the enemies are spamming shots at you, you can kind of just shoot through it and it will clear them out fairly well.
Wasn't this whole expanse once lush and green?
I mean, I'll take your word for it, Zagreus. It's certainly not lush or green now. It's pretty, but it's you know, it's gorgeous in a damned way. Yeah, that didn't home in at all. Okay, pretty clean there. All things considered, the jolted works out really well. You can see the damage it's doing, which is nice. We didn't even come over here. This is the whole bit of the map that we just didn't explore. Okay, we got some more Hermes, or we got a Palm of Power. I'm still back and forth on Hermes' buffs. I don't know how I feel about them. But also, I'm not fully sold on Palm upgrades. I think they're okay, but they don't feel like you get pretty diminishing returns as you upgrade your abilities more and more, which makes sense. But you like early Poms and just more boons later. Yeah, that makes sense. I think a lot of the level 1 to 2 upgrades are pretty strong.
Something's off.
I have returned.
Oh, hello. You're here early.
Still at it, I see. You're stubborn, and you are going to get me in a heap of trouble before all is said and done. Scared I'll take more of them than you this time.
Oh, absolutely terrifying.
Maybe we'll actually be able to do it on this one. Who knows? I wouldn't bank on it, but he does so much damage. We actually want them to attack, or at least try to attack, because then they'll the jolted will apply. Yeah, okay. Okay, well, we beat him for once.
Got more of them than I did, huh?
And we got an achievement, Death Dealer.
You seemed a little winded there, no? Not even close to the surface yet, either.
Yeah, you got this free, yeah. When there's lower damage, I feel like when we've done it before, it's been in Elysium, and the enemies have so much more health that it's kind of difficult to wear them down before he kills them, because he just one-shots them when his attack actually comes through.
Thanks for the vote of confidence there, Than.
You're very welcome. Now I better get back before Lord Hades catches on to this.
He does seem like he should be in a K-pop boy band, that Thanatos design.
Oh, what's good there, cuz? Who am I kidding? We can cut the small talk. I don't mind. I interrupt my brothers and sisters all the time.
Okay. Each time you enter a chamber, gain 10 gold. That's pretty good. Faster special is okay. I don't mind the speed of the special. It's not too bad. I'm going to take this money, I think. Because if we do get to the late game, even early game, it's going to be good. And if we get to the late game where you run into you go through a lot of small chambers and there are some really expensive items that you can buy. Like, not amazing items, but they just are expensive because it's the end game. It feels like a reward for having a lot of money. And we'll do a trove trial, sure. Why not?
Sure, why not?
We have a pest problem.
Where did the other one go? He like dashed all the way over here somewhere.
I shall deal with you later then.
Okay. 61, not too bad. And again, one of those ones where we didn't really spend anything to do it. Okay, we got a double boon or we've got health. Health is pretty nice, but those double boon rooms are pretty strong. And we got Artemis and we got Poseidon. I think we go for the double boon. Oh, you don't know if it's this cooldown speed or projectile speed. Yeah, that's what I was wondering. I was also wondering, like, if it's the speed that it fires at, like how long it takes to land, or if it's the speed where you recover from shooting it. Not necessarily the cooldown, but like how long it takes to actually fire it out. Because you have to stop to move, right? So if maybe it'd be quicker to fire and then start moving again, or maybe it'll be like, oh, it just takes longer to land. Also, I didn't notice how it's like green with our bonus there. Okay, who do we want first? Who do we have currently? We have... I thought we had an Artemis boon on this run, but maybe we actually don't. Oh, we do have. We have the Deadly Flourish. I think we're going to take Artemis first. I could go either way.
Oh, somebody's going to be upset.
But I think we did have a Poseidon thing as well, right? But I don't remember what it was. I like the Artemis Call. The Artemis Call is good, just complete burst damage. Your cast seeks foes. Well, we don't have a cast yet. This would be a nice cast. 10% chance to deal crit is okay. This is tough. Having a call would be nice, and this is a pretty good one. I'll take the call.
What you have just done is tantamount to spitting in my face. Let me remind you then, the ocean can spit back.
Gross.
I'm sorry, Uncle. Looks like I injured him.
I think sometimes I get too hung up on just trying to deal damage quickly, and it doesn't really matter. Like in most, apart from certain circumstances, you can take your time just killing enemies. Obviously, the longer you take doing an encounter, the more likely you are that you're going to take damage, but...
My fits of anger come and go just like the tides, nephew. Now take this from me and get out of here.
The gods are very light-hearted. They're like, yeah, it's fine, whatever. Look. They're just in it for the banter. Right, we still don't have a cast. So there's a possibility. I don't mind this, but it wouldn't give us the stick-in enemy, which I think was quite a nice thing to have. Gorgon's charging up fast when you take damage is okay, but again, it's one of those weird ones of taking damage. I actually, because of where we're at, I think I might take this. We get healing, we get money, we get all kinds of things.
Power of the sea.
I don't feel too strongly about the things he's offering. We got 90 gold off that. And you get a good chunk of rewards. This has been a very good run for building up our metagame currency, I guess we'll call it. Let's just see what we have ahead before we pick anything. We've got Dionysus or we've got a shop. So we actually kind of want to keep... We've got about as much money as we need to keep. I might take the Hydrolite. It's going to mean if we get like 2 boons and a pom, but I've never seen 2 boons and a pom in a shop. Hi Martin, good to see you. Boiling point, good versus bosses. Yeah, that's true. I think the thing is you do just take damage over time. Like you have to kind of accept that you're going to take damage. I actually really like Poseidon. Sorry, not Poseidon. I really like Dionysus with the gun if you can get thingy on it. But the problem is we won't be able to get... If we get that on our attack, then we would lose the... This is the thing I always need to remember. It's like, oh, if you a thing that gives your attack hangover would replace my lightning strike, which I already is a good ability.
Moving on.
So
someone to spend some coin.
And again, we had a little bit more cash. Not enough cash, stranger. We can in fact afford everything here, right? No, not quite, because we did actually spend... This is the exact lineup of things that we can't afford everything, right? Oh no, we can, right? This is 350. Okay, we can afford everything. Forget me. I can't do maths. We'll take the boon first.
You spent your hard-earned wealth on my account, dearest? Why, if that isn't just the sweetest thing.
A wide, short-range blast that inflicts weak. or bonus life gain is worth 30% more. I'm going to take this. I like this. I don't love the crush shot. It's a little too short range. And yeah, exactly. We're buying life anyway.
Strength and beauty.
So normally this will give us 25 health.
Here's the fee.
Oh, it just gave us the same anyway. Maybe I think it's chamber reward, so maybe it doesn't count for the shops, which is fine. And honestly, 20 gems, I'll take them. Yeah, it's a little disappointing it doesn't work on that, but that's fair enough. I don't, you know, it is how it is. I'm just gonna take a like 3-minute break and grab another drink. So hang in tight, and we'll be back very, very shortly. Okay, and we are back. Thank you for bearing with me there. And we should be good to go. Hope everyone's doing well. Hope you're doing well today, Martin. Good to see you. Always a pleasure. Okay. All right. Now, 1 sec. Just check we're good. Okay, we are good. All right. On we go. Aphrodite. I feel okay about where our build is at. Oh gosh. Getting caught in that is never good. Okay, we got stoned, but we at least avoided the. Okay, we did it. We took a lot of damage there, I think. That's an encounter I still need to get better at adapting to. You're surviving. Well, that's good to hear at least.
Until such time, however, this old means of keeping touch.
It's a pleasure to have you here.
So you take care now, hmm?
Okay, we still don't have either dash. I think I'll take this. A passion dash. The weak is a nice thing to inflict. You know, if something's chasing you down, just make it deal less damage to you. And again, one of those things where now we have a dash thing, we can easily break any pots, anything like that. without getting too hung up on them. We are getting a lot of darkness this run. We've almost got like 200 or so darkness, I think. Oh, this is one of those rest chambers. Very nice. That's incredibly welcome. 50 health as well. Oh, that is nice. Unfortunately, we're going into a shop, which normally would be fine, but you see, this is the thing. We spent 75 gold at that last, or 75 obol, I guess I should say, right there. They're Charon's obol at the last shop. Find it hard to be enthusiastic about anything? That's understandable. I appreciate the effort, nevertheless. No, it's been a difficult time for a lot of people, so I can feel that. Karen, you're really running a big business here. I think we'll take. We are pretty close to full health. I think we'll take the little upgrade. Let's check. There's definitely no money in here. It doesn't look like any of these are money pots, but we'll. Sorry, Karen. I didn't mean to. Didn't mean to bonk you there. Is this a... Oh, we can fish. Oh, I haven't done this before. We bought a fishing rod last time.
I missed.
Too early. Okay, right. I need to get used to that. This is the first time I've had a fish thing. I think we bought the fishing rod last time we were in town, like end of last episode, so...
Boosted a boon.
Okay. Artemis's aid has gone up. Which is the call. That's fine. Even more damage on the call. Doesn't hurt. Always love the Hades streams. That's good to hear. You know me. I'm an eternal optimist. So
remember me.
Feel like you want a good mix of people. Okay. First things first. Let's get a cast in him. Oh, I'm hitting the wall. So that was 180. Oh gosh, they're here. I don't know why I wasn't expecting them to be here yet. Is that everyone? I think it is actually everyone. Okay. Slowly clear out these enemies. A little bit of an awkward little area here. We do have our greater call, but I want to wait till we kill these enemies before we use it, really. And there we go. Just absolutely obliterated him with the Artemis call. I didn't even see how much damage that did, but it was enough. You're not sure how I do it? Yeah, I don't know. It's just my natural inclination, I suppose. I also, you know, I feel like, you know, I've always been a fairly fortunate person in life, in like my background and upbringing, so you know I have it easier than a lot of people do, and so I always try and look on the bright side in that aspect, at least, you know, because I know there's a lot of people out there who have it a lot worse than I do, in very like either like slightly worse, or obviously, you know, some people have a real tough time. Streaming is good. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, like it is, especially at the moment where you can't socialize IRL. Like, both. I think I was talking to MJ about this, where like, you know, a lot of the time, the first thing everyone did was do the quizzes. Like a lot of people did Zoom quizzes, and they're fun, and I do still enjoy doing them. I've done a few, but it kind of almost at some point it starts to feel like the Zoom things are just almost like, we're doing this because we know we can't actually meet up with each other in real life. Whereas something about streaming almost feels like more. It feels like a more natural replacement for general day-to-day interaction. Like there's something much more natural about the conversation, even if you're the streamer talking to all the people in your chat, or if you're in chat with people talking to the streamer. Like I think there's something very, very pleasant about that. Okay, we're going into Elysium now. We may want to think about either taking a Death Defiance or more health. I think maybe the Death Defiance is the better pick. What could we sell, just out of interest?
For coin.
I don't think I want to sell either of those, or any of those. Oh man, the Centaur Soul would be kind of nice, but we can't afford it, so. Start encounters with your God Gauge full. That's not too bad.
Take that.
We haven't got much money anyway. The only way I can feel natural in conversation is if I'm the center of attention. See, I'm actually the reverse of that. Like, I don't want to be the center of anything. That's the real thing with me, is that, like... But I think the nice thing about streaming is, even though the streamer is obviously the center of attention, you don't feel like the center of attention. Because you're just playing a video game and chatting to people. Whereas when you're in a room and everyone's looking at you, like if I'm in a room and I'm talking and everyone's paying attention to me, I feel then I get more anxious about that, and I think like the disassociation of it actually kind of works. Yeah, like I think that is a good point as well, is that when you're watching a stream you always have at least the game to talk about, even if you don't necessarily stick to anything else. Let's see what this new thing we got, this Shattered Shackle. Attack, special, and cast each deal plus 50% damage while not empowered by a boon. That's really cool. It's interesting because, like, presumably you would still want boons a lot of the time, but 50% damage is a big bump. That is a big bump. Like, you could almost just avoid taking, like, special boons, or avoid taking attack boons and only take and build up a special and then just be like, well, my attack is just going to be solid. I think I want to take the Lucky Tooth here. It's 75 health. The alternative would be to take the Spiked Collar. That, obviously there is a lot of damage in this, the 20% damage to distant foes. But I think the Lucky Tooth going into this final few sections is actually going to be a little bit more reliable.
Go with that one.
And also, it will give us... I'd rather have extra health so that I can learn... I still don't feel like I've learned this third area. I'm not entirely sure I've learned the second area yet, and we've started seeing new enemies in the first area, so who knows? But,
let's slay some heroes then.
Okay, here we are in Elysium.
For all his faults, Father did make this place look good.
It's nice. It's a little too green. I almost feel like there should be more... I guess it's green and then all the ornaments are orange. Probably want... Oh, man. I was going to say you probably want more health, but you can get some really nice... I really do... I'm so tempted by the hammers whenever I see them. I'm going to take the health. I'm going to be sensible here. I feel like we have a good build going, and I don't want to overcomplicate it too much, because that actually gets me in trouble sometimes. Like, I sometimes find it difficult when I have too many things going at once. $420 damage, baby. That's what it's all about. That guy's white. I wonder what that means. Okay. Glad we went for the health, because we're taking some damage here. Yeah. The big 420 damage. That's what it's all about. It's a good thing I didn't take that boon that makes me deal extra damage to my special. I feel like I do want to try that, but I feel like I'd be scared to use it because I keep bouncing it off walls and killing myself, or like hitting myself. But then there is that alternative aspect that we can get where you get bonus damage if you hit yourself with it, which again would be an interesting one to try. I think there's all lots of interesting playstyles that I feel like they'd be fun to try. Maybe you'd want to have like, you'd want to get the first your first upgrade before you do it. But okay, yeah, you see we have 158 health there, so we got like an extra 8 health or something. And they've got so much range. I always underestimate their range. Okay, that was pretty good. That was pretty smooth. Feel more comfortable with it? I think so. I feel like maybe the playing it once a week hurts. Maybe I'm contemplating playing it a bit more.
I had assured him that the two of us, we had everything well under control.
But
Now, Zagreus, the only thing Lady Aphrodite has under control is her long list of salivating suitors, am I right?
I'd say I feel more comfortable in general.
How about you bestow your blessing and be off, and I'll take it from here.
What do you want, Zeus?
Yes.
Oh, a duo boon. Your god gauge charged up automatically, but it's capped to 25%. And it goes up 1% every 0.2 seconds. That's 5% a second. So we basically get it back every 5 seconds. That's actually really cool. I kind of want to try that. It's interesting because the main one does so much damage, but I almost feel like this is a huge DPS increase, because it's gonna go up. It like basically every 5 seconds we're gonna get a use of it, even if we don't attack. Basically, I'm gonna try this.
Teamwork.
I'm interested to see how it feels. Like the amount of damage, because you get 10 arrows with the max gauge, but obviously the downside to that is that if you're using it, you know, if I use it like 5 times, if I keep using the single one, then maybe with the gain I'll end up using it more times than I would have done. I will definitely buy this. We're not going into the shop anyway. And I'll take the cheap move speed as well. You know what? This is so cheap. Let's take it. Let's take it. Why not? Let's go all in. I do still feel like sometimes I'm having trouble reading when there's a lot of things going on screen, or I'm... Why is this... Oh, I didn't go into a shop, did I? I was like, why is this not a shop? But it's because I didn't go into the shop. I was expecting it to be peaceful in here, and it's not. Also, I need to remember to actually use my call all the time now, because you'll notice we do get more than one charge, so it does actually fill up a little bit.
Damage ones come back.
Also, the numbers are green now instead of pink, which I think is because it's a duo boon, which is interesting. I've never actually taken a duo boon before because they've not actually really made sense for what I was doing, but it's cool. It's a cool idea.
See how we can modify the rail.
Delta chamber. Your attack is a 3-round burst. You never have to reload. That's kind of cool. It kind of goes against the aspect we're using. Your special fires a spread of 5 bombs, but each deals less damage, or you can use your special 3 times in rapid succession. I want to try the cluster bomb. We've not tried the cluster bomb. I mean, that's 30% less damage, but you get 5 of them, right? So it's basically 70% times 5, which is 350%. So it's still a lot of damage. I want to see how it fires. Oh, that's great. Look at that. Blow up all the eggs. No, we don't have a lot of money, so again, oh no, this is not a shop. This is money. I was gonna say, I don't know who this. I can't remember. This is gosh, what's her name? This is the tree lady who sings the song, right? Oh no, it's not. She's in the second area.
Always so unyielding.
I don't know who this is.
Amid Elysium's moss-covered chambers, carved of stone, stand untold numbers of eternal monuments in tribute to the greatest heroes which mortality can offer, there to honor them in life as well as death.
This place is near as gloomy as the house.
Okay, who will this be is the question.
Well,
hello, friend.
Go on, stranger. Plenty more shades looking to fight with you out there.
I'm just passing through. You seem less warlike than the rest. May I ask your name, sir? I'm Zagreus.
Names are there to be forgotten, stranger. You shouldn't be here. May the fates favor your journey. But just in case they don't, here, why don't you take this?
If I did this, would it mean anything to you? Kiss of Styx Premium replenishes all use of Death Defiance. Well, we haven't used up our Death Defiance, so Hydrolite Gold, 30% health per chamber, or 60% damage for the next 10 encounters. Well, this is cool. I think I'll take the sustain, to be honest, even though this damage is a lot. It's going to run out, and then we're going to suddenly have 60. The thing I always worry about with boosting attack like this is that suddenly it runs out, and you're not getting 60. You're doing, you know, like half the damage, or like 2/3 of the damage that you were doing previously.
Thanks for this.
Thank you, friend.
Patroclus. So that's his name.
Forgive me. It is not my place to say much of him now. Let's call him Iroquois Pliskin. Okay, and I think we'll take the gold. Again, we don't even have 125, which is what you need to buy a heart. So we'd be gambling a little bit there.
Glad I put in the order for a fountain chamber in this area.
Oh, this is a fountain chamber. Great. Oh, I think we've recently added this. It's just a freebie, and you know, get a little bit of ooh ooh and a little bit of ah.
Within the delicately hewn constructions of Elysium exist places of peace so utterly serene and absolute as mortal kind is seldom to experience during the average short and often painful coil.
I like describing the mortal coil as just a coil.
Is this really as good as it gets for mortal kind?
A lot of cash in here. Picked up like 120 obol, which is pretty good. And we get a heal, which is not actually...
Although I'm full.
Yeah, see, he even comments on it. Okay, we got a Zeus, we got an Artemis. Artemis has been pretty good for us. If we could buff up our critical effects, especially with our new God Gauge thing, that'd be pretty good. I feel like we already have, you know, we already have the Jolted, we already have the Lightning. We could get the Lightning cast, but I'm not too worried about that. We could ultimately alternatively get Artemis's cast, which I would be quite willing to take at this point. I guess our duo boon is... Who is our duo boon? It was Aphrodite and Zeus, wasn't it? Which is interesting because that's not the card. Oh, hello.
You have met the champion, the king. Let us see if you are fit to face
I didn't think you'd come back as a mini boss. I thought that you would. I thought that was like a one-off, and it was going to be like, yeah, okay, you don't fight this guy again.
You mean face both of you together, which doesn't seem particularly fair.
Life isn't particularly fair, short one, nor death.
Good, great voice on this lad.
You to know as much, but here, have your fair fight.
I need to recognize when my call is up, which I feel like I need to recognize the look of it. There's like a big flash in the bottom. It's just a case of keeping like a half an eye looking at that. At least we're weakening him as well when we do this, which is nice. Oh, I'm just out of range. Also, the other nice thing is that we're going to crit quite frequently. So you never have to kill him when you fight him in this area, which is nice. He just wanders off. See ya. Yeah, you never have to worry about... Gosh, what was that? I don't remember what I was going to say there. Something about the call, maybe. It's nice that you have to... you get more chances to crit with it hitting all the time.
In the name of Hades.
Heart Rend. Your critical effects deal even more damage to weak foes. That's a lot more damage. Our crit is not like... We have, you know, we have a 20% chance to crit on this. And a 35% on our ult. And we are using our ult a lot, our call. So, actually, maybe with the call, that's actually pretty good. Like, I would have taken this, I said earlier, but I think, honestly, this duo boon might actually be the way to go. Because we do have a way to weaken enemies. We're not going to do it all the time. I'm not going to worry too much about, like... I think last time I had a thing that gave me extra doom on weak, and I was really focusing on weakening enemies, and I think it got me in more trouble than it solved. But I will do this. We got duo boons for days here. Lots of good little graphics on those as well, which I'm a big fan of. But like in that fight, we're just being chased around, right? So we're constantly dashing away from him, weakening him as he chases us, and then we're just hitting him with the God Gauge, hitting him with the God Gauge. It all adds up, you know.
More bright swords.
Oh, I keep forgetting I have this as well. This is great. I should use this more. Seems like it's probably quite strong.
Place is crawling with these.
See, now I'm in that situation where I feel like I have so much on the go at once. It's a little difficult to keep track of what I'm doing. Like I've got my call, I've got my special is pretty good. My attack is pretty good. I want to use my cast. And this is where I start to get a little overwhelmed of like, what's actually my best DPS output in the situation? And I guess it probably depends. Like this is really good damage if it hits. I also love how it gets like, or you can layer it basically on top of itself. Or you can like really spread it out. If you bring it around here, look at this. Look how far apart they get. 100 gold. It's kind of greedy maybe, but we're doing okay, and we're still getting that Hydra-like gold, so we're still healing up a lot. Also, I just absolutely just stood in front of that and took a bunch to the face. Okay, it wasn't too bad. We didn't take too much damage in the end. And we get 69 gold. That's nice.
Very nice.
I'll take that. Ha You absolute motherfuckers. You did that on purpose. I got a lot of respect for that, Supergiant. Okay, we're going for keys. I want keys. They really made him do that, huh? Big respect. No deflect abilities, which is a shame. I find that the white guys are a little hard to see sometimes, like the pure white casters. Foes have a chance to drop healing items. That's nice. That's good sustain. I mean, the thing is, we've got a lot of... I'll take this. I'm not too worried about the other two, but I'll take the healing sustain. Well stocked, completed. I wonder if that's just buying enough stuff from Sharon's Well. Charon's Well, sorry. Okay, what are we working with here? We're gonna take the shop, I think. You know, look, we got the cash. A lot of cash flowing in.
Must have slept.
Breaking all his stuff. Okay, we don't need the heal. There's actually not that much to buy here, which is, you know, sod's law, right?
The world has found a means to reach you with my blessing, nephew. Such strange alliances we forge these days.
Big sexy Shaz. Okay. Lightning reflexes I kind of like. Just extra free damage. I'm not too worried about this cast. I like the cast sticking in people for the extra damage at the moment, so that we can focus on like big targets. I know Wayne's a big fan of the lightning dash. We'll take a round of power up. I probably actually should have taken that before we... oh, we got on lightning strike, which is okay. An extra 4... Excuse me, an extra 4 damage. I would take the heal if we were... Honestly, with the amount of money we have, if we were anything less than full health, I would take the heal, but we are actually at full health, so... I hear the roar of the crowd. That can only mean one thing. The dash is nice. Yeah, it does seem like it's okay. And the thing is, it doesn't replace our dash.
Well, Hellspawn, you stained my honor last we battled here. But as you plainly see, I have returned, as has Asterius. And we've no shortage of honor left to spare.
Shouldn't I be the champion of Elysium now that I've beaten you? Isn't there someone else around to challenge me? Say, Heracles? Someone less chatty?
Very clever, fiend. Invoking Heracles' name in an attempt to drive me to a jealous rage. It shall not work, but you shall dearly pay nevertheless.
I gotta make sure I don't get hit by his... I think I need to stay on the move in this fight as much as possible.
Not yet. Not now.
Dealing with them both at once is actually the thing that's the most difficult. Okay, we are on no health, but we have the Death Defiance. Ares coming in. Oh my gosh, those are so big. Oh, such big areas he's got there. Oh, another Death Defiance. He hits so hard. He's burning my damage down. I'm annoyed that I took a second Death Defiance there.
That'll teach him.
Ah, that was okay, but it should have gone better than that. We lost two Death Defiances in that fight. Which, I mean, I suppose at least we can get rid of the Skelly one. I feel like I've still not quite got that fight down. I mean, it's only the 4th time we've attempted that fight, and we've beaten it twice, so we're at 50-50, which is pretty good.
Where do you think you're going?
You know exactly where.
And we can take the bonus health now, I guess, because we've already used this up. So I think we probably just take the extra life total. That's pretty cheap for a full heal. I would buy this, but we're going into the final area, and with how the final area works, I do want to go in with as much money as we can.
Should I take the trade?
I don't want to sell any of these. I still like them. Honestly, I could sell the heart chamber rewards are worth more, but
I can do this. I can do this.
Yeah, at least I'm alive. That's true. Again, always look on the bright side.
No more dead to deal with, at least.
So is this just straight into the there was gold in there. I was like, I'm sure there's gold in here. Yeah, we do go straight into this. That was an examine.
The vast temple of Styx and its innumerable dangers now are all that separates the underworld prince from the land outside, which he so desperately longs to see.
I've almost made it. Hey, boy.
Okay, we can't even talk to him really until we've done that. Oh, there's a gold down here. Oh, that's just because it's a Zeus thing.
Something I can use.
So we got a good selection of options here. We could take a Zeus boon, we could take an Artemis boon, we could take a Pom. So not an Artemis boon, we've got a Zeus or a Aphrodite boon. This one is an interesting one. I think you lose one of your things to get two random ones, which is okay, but I feel like with our build being like this is one of the ones we have. This is another one we have. I think that might be the only two. I don't remember if there's... I think that might be the only two. But I don't really want to lose either of them. I think they're both pretty good. Yeah. I would take the options here.
Cheers, mate.
Weak effects, longer duration. Pretty good. I like that. Adds another 5 seconds to it, which is pretty strong. Especially given that we get the bonus damage on weak. Because we're not always going to... Then we don't have to worry about reapplying it all the time. After you take damage, your foe is struck by lightning is okay. That might be... This might be a nice one to have here, just to... As a way to... we could take the cast, but again, like, I kind of like having the single target cast. I'm gonna take the Heaven's Vengeance. I don't think it's amazing, but I think it'll do the job. Titan's Blood would be a nice thing to buy, but again, that's one of those ones that if you have a ton of spare money, I presume the more we play, the better we'll get to having good money. Okay. Artemis first, I think, or maybe the Pom first. Okay, I think I did get clipped there, but only for a tiny bit of damage. Right, and also I need to remember that I can cure if I get poisoned. That's a very important mechanic in this area. Taking a bit too much damage there for my liking. I do not like the lasers. I feel like I probably don't play like correctly against them, but nevertheless, just not a fan of the lasers. I just immediately ran into both those traps. Yeah, see, we're taking a lot of damage here. My build is good, but I'm taking a lot of damage, probably dashing around too much.
Not yet.
Oh, that guy's still alive. And there's a laser boy over there. Ah! Damn. Rough. That's disappointing. I feel like the problem we had is last time I got to this area,
That really hurt.
I was like blitzing through rooms very quickly, and so I didn't get used to fighting them. Ah, that's a shame. I feel like that run could have been the one if we'd made it to the end, but we took too much damage on Asterius, and I was not ready for that final zone. Yeah, the lasers are the worst. Like, I'm not good at dealing with them. I feel like I have trouble like fine-tune running around stuff. Like, maybe I'd be better with a different controller. I don't know how much difference that would make, but like trying to like move around slowly in an area like that.
I know that look. Why, that's the look of someone just incinerated by a snake stone, am I right? They spit a whole bunch of those white-hot, flesh-burning beams right at the same time there, don't they?
Hi, CJ. Good to see you. Hope you're doing well today. Thank you very much for bringing your viewers by. We're doing well. We just had a good run that did not quite make it. We made it to the temple, and ran into all sorts of issues. Playing Wrestling Empire. Oh, nice. Very good.
You've been gone a while.
I'm going to find Mother, no matter how long it takes me.
For the last time, you're not to speak about that woman in my house. You want to know of her so much, you go find her indeed.
That's what I'm doing. That's the point.
Yushe's doing all right.
Overindulgence. Eh, we've all been there.
Your enemy is not the wretched dead, and not your father, lad. It is the underworld itself. It has been fashioned to prevent escape. You must have seen by now how all the chambers seem to rearrange themselves.
The underworld itself, my enemy. I'll do my best anticipating its surprises, sir.
Okay, noted. Simno's fallen asleep. I guess that's kind of his thing, right?
Hope Orpheus is okay.
We did make... Oh, we made like 600 darkness on that run. That's actually kind of crazy. We can buy the superior urns of wealth.
This one
and we can also... I think we can also buy an extra death defiance, which would be nice.
I give you orders around here.
I would love that.
The Olympians can't really see me, can they, Nyx? I mean, not very well. I get that they can sense details here and there, but they don't know the full extent of what's going on. Are we really so far beyond their influence?
Yeah, it seems like they don't know what's happening down here.
You are enshrouded from them, child. For your own benefit and theirs. They know as much as necessary to assist. And I trust they shall, for as long as you require. They are bound to one another as family. And they know that you require aid. Do not be too prideful to accept.
I won't.
Yeah, more death defiance sounds great. How was Wrestling Empire, CJ? How was that today?
Hi.
If I sit down, I won't want to get back up.
I want to talk to Dusa. Let me talk to Dusa.
So, hi, Prince. So, is there anything I can get you? Or maybe tidy up some more? Or I just thought maybe you'd like something to drink sometime?
She's the sweetest.
Wonderful, Dusa. Maybe tomorrow, assuming I'm not getting out of here by then.
What? I mean, it's no big deal. I mean, forget I asked. Or anything. I'm sorry. Bye.
Dusa?
But that was then and this is now, and we have work to do. Anyway, Thin, I think we'd best continue this discussion at some other time.
Meg's like, look who's just come in.
You're interrupting private conversations, Zagreus. Leave us.
Look, I didn't tell you to have a private conversation in the middle of the dinner lounge.
Let him stay if that's what he wants. What does it matter? He's technically allowed within these halls, but he must know he isn't welcome anymore.
It seems like everyone wants me to leave, but no one actually is letting me leave. Another wild ride, starting to Japan, got poached back to the US, probably injured a few people along the way. Willie Pierce's career trajectory seems to be going from tag team to tag team. There's been many successful wrestlers who have done that, so, you know. Certainly a respectable trajectory in life.
What's in stock?
Okay. Titan Blood for 15 keys. That is tempting. That is quite tempting. But we're so close to unlocking more mirror upgrades. And I think for now, like, the aspects are cool, but I think for now I'd actually rather get more mirror upgrades on the go. You've made a new Cesaro. Listen, Cesaro is one of my favorite wrestlers of all time, so that sounds, you know, a fantastic wrestler. I'm not going to say criminally underused, because I think he, you know, anytime he's given the ring, he shines. But obviously, a wrestler that ends up doing a lot of tag work. But again, very, very, you know, he's good at whatever he does. So you put him in a tag team, he'll do well. I'll have to come see how Willie Pierce is getting on. Maybe check out one of the VODs. Okay, another death. Oh, we can get a third one as well. Wow, that is actually it's a lot of death defying.
Darkness.
And we'll dash through here and see what awaits us.
Skelly, how do you know all this stuff, by the way? I mean, no offense, but you're a skeleton who just stands around. Yet you have this wealth of knowledge of the underworld.
He's amazing and he shines. That's what I like to hear.
Know people, pal. We'll just have to leave it at that. Now let's see it break some of these bones, huh?
If I must.
Okay. I've got to catch up on this week's GWD as well because I wasn't able to make it this week, which is a little upsetting. Let's see if we've got any aspects we can get on the shield. We can't get the blitz disc. I think I remember CJ using the blitz disc when I was watching once. It's very cool. It kind of follows you around. This is just more damage, just straight up. Just makes your attack stronger, which, you know, respectable. Or after the bull rush, your special throws multiple shields, which is it's a really interesting way to play. I'm interested to try this and see how it plays. I'm gonna give it a go. I'm gonna give it a go because it sounds intriguing to me. Oh, it's got a big eye on it as well, which is good. So I'm wondering if so now it is just charged up. We get this lightning on us and we throw 2 shields. So as standard we just throw the 1. But even if we don't hit with the bull rush, we still get the 2 shields. Does it matter how much we bull rush? No, it doesn't seem like it. You still get the upgrade. Damage wise, I think the 20% to distant foes seems like it's less good now. Let's take an Athena boon. We get a nice early deflect. That would be kind of nice. I'm torn. I don't know what I want here, but the Shattered Shackle seems like it could be really good early on. Actually, let's try this out because I feel like the start of the run is the time to use this, right? Because it's not going to be very good after you've picked up a few things. Blitz disc is a lot of fun. Yeah, the chaos seems good. I just need to remember to use it. I need to lock in my head that I need, because I feel like last time I used the shield, I kind of forgot about the bull rush aspect. Apart from when I really needed to block. Oh, and look, we got Demeter back.
None can endure an everlasting winter's chill, young Zagreus. Not even your father's lifeless servants there beneath the earth.
I gotta say, fantastic. That's up there with Chaos, one of my favourite looks. The long, furry sort of cloudy coat, that fantastic dress. A lot of things going on with that. The incredible braids in the hair, the incredibly strong jawline, the blue lipstick, the color coordination, the shoulder pads with the snowflakes on them. Oh, fantastic fashion there, Demeter.
Winter, that's when it's cold or something, right?
I mean, that's true. So we did like the crystal beam last time. That was pretty good. The dash shoots a gust ahead that inflicts chill. Making our special stronger seems good because we've got the double special. I want to try this. We tried the crystal beam last time. So and you get we can put 2 stacks of chill on because I think chill goes up to like 6 stacks or something. Up to 10 stacks. I don't know why I thought 6. But there we are. Oh, there's a fishing point. I need to remember that because I forgot how to fish last time. The bull rush is actually pretty strong as well. I feel like I've undervalued it in general. I've not used it. I mean, this is the 3rd time we've used the shield, and I really like the shield. But both times I think we had special based attacks. Right, so we went too early last time on this. So let's see if we can get the timing down.
Sure, why not?
There we go. Hellfish. That's very cute. From the looks of them, they must have once been stowaways on the outer hull of Charon's boat, affixing themselves just below the waterline, securing passage from the surface down into the depths via the river Styx. I'm not quite sure if we get anything for that, other than, is that just like a little bit of bonus lore? Which is fine, honestly, but I wasn't sure if the fishing would do something else. Ooh, interesting. We could get some early gold, or we could get a hammer, and a hammer would be a nice way to set our build going. You're blocking while you're holding it. Yeah, that's the thing, is like the blocking ability is actually really good, and I feel like I don't use that enough, or I don't take enough advantage of that.
What?
Yeah, being able to block is nice. It's one of those things where, especially doing a lot of, we've been doing all ranged today, so having like an actual way to stop attacks is a big deal. Your bull rush instead fires a piercing shot that deals 80 damage, which is interesting. I like the way it works at the moment. Special can strike additional foes, or your dash strike deals 50% damage in a large area. I think we go in on the special, given that we've got the chill effect on it, and we have the we have the multiple. You know, if it's gonna strike additional foes, that seems like it could be fantastic for us. Keys or nectar? Nectar would be nice. I feel like we need to get more. We're close to upgrading the thing, but we could get more trinkets as well. This is a tough choice. Let's go for nectar. I feel like you see nectar less often. Hi Wayne, how's it going? You give the fish to the chef. All right, thank you very much. How was the rest of your run? Did you make it to the end? Oh, that's amazing. Did you see that? Just flew around the room. That's very silly.
Sweet.
Did you find how long that game goes for, or are you still in the depths of it? Okay. Onwards we go. Cyber Shadow nearly broke you.
Don't get in my way.
Oh, he actually missed us there, which is interesting. And again, this is one of those things where I just need to not be impatient and just... I can block the attack. I can afford to block the attack. And maybe not dash into... There we go. You're on the final boss, but you have not beat it yet. Okay, well that's unfortunate, but also good to hear, because it means hopefully I can catch you fighting the final boss. I'd be interested to see. I don't know if I'm going to play that game. I might try it out, but like I said, it's not really... The games that it's emulating are not games that I've ever been big on, so I don't know how much will actually appeal to me. Can I... Okay, you can't actually bull rush across there. That's interesting. Still don't like the lasers. I just don't like dealing with them. I know they turn slowly and you've just got to get used to that, but that's one of the things I have trouble passing. You like the messenger more? I'll bear that in mind.
Gimme.
Not using the cast too much. I mean, that's the thing we might want to start using. Poseidon I like, but I don't necessarily love... I don't think with the shield, I don't think Poseidon would be my first choice.
Charon set up shop.
Okay, well, we've got Poseidon anyway. I will still take a Poseidon boon over... I think I would take the Poseidon boon over... Although, if this This is already 60% damage. Maybe it would actually be really nice just upgrading that. Like our current setup is already pretty good. And I think we're pretty much guaranteed to get the upgrade for the thing we want. Let's talk to Cowan first. He's busy vaping. And it would let us buy a key as well, which would be nice.
Don't spend it all.
I'm going to do it. 84%. That's pretty good. I mean, it's probably not as much as a boon would give you, but
another key.
As a nice early thing to do, I think it keeps our build a little focused. Oh, it's this bad bastard. See, turning around when he does that is there we go. Okay.
You stabbed me, I stabbed
like the speed he attacks you when he comes in.
Techniques for just anybody, Zagreus. So
it's tough.
You better appreciate what you're about to get and use it to go far.
I guess the thing is, if he teleports close, he almost always teleports directly behind you. Have I beaten the game? No. We made it to the final boss last week, and we made it to the Temple of Styx on our last run, but we died doing the challenge rooms.
The goods.
Attack is stronger with a 15% chance to crit. 15% chance to crit is actually pretty high. I think we take that. That's just a good all-arounder. I do like the call. Our call last time was good. I felt the thing with the call last time is I was finding using it on cooldown, it was so, we were getting it so often, it was almost too much to handle.
Hey, sir.
How's it going, buddy?
Hey, Prince. How goes the old escape plan? Any luck?
You know, it's been alright, all things considered. Dying now and then, and it's been hard, but hey, what can you do?
Ah, well, keep your chin up. Me, why, I quit trying to get out of here a while back. But if I was a fire-stepping youngster like yourself, perhaps I would have stuck to it.
Okay, now healing would be good. We are pretty low on health. Well, we're not low on health, but we're, you know, down on health a little bit. But he does give you a good chunk of change, which would give us healing. Potentially, if we found a shop, would give us healing and more.
That I can do.
That's 107 gold. I'm always a bit of a risk taker. I think, you know, in my head, I'm like, well, it's okay to take risks early in the run, because like the fact that the bull rush doesn't go across walls is like, that's the one thing I think that's doing me in a little bit. I keep expecting it to go across walls and it doesn't. I also need to not worry too much about using my special all the time. Like the damage on it is good, and I think in like a big AoE room like this, it makes sense to use it a lot. But don't need to get too hung up on it. 100 gold. I'll treasure trove for 100 gold.
Yeah, might as well.
Don't make me laugh.
No time to lose. Stay dead.
67 gold. Pretty reasonable.
Nice.
Oh, we get a nectar as well.
Looks like a good batch.
But that just come with the that just come randomly out of the chest. Because that wasn't the room reward, I don't think. Okay, we'll definitely go for the double boon room here. This is interesting. These are the two people we have boons with currently. We have the Artemis and we have the Demeter.
They're making me choose.
Okay. I might take Artemis first because of the crit chance.
Right on the mark.
Dash Strike deals more damage. That's actually quite tempting. I'm using the Dash Strike a lot to go across, to close in on enemies. After you do critical damage, how big is our crit chance? It's quite high, right? 15%. And you get plus 30% chance to crit. Or your crit does more damage, which is okay, but it already deals 3 times damage, so an extra 15% is not as big as it seems. I actually might go with this Hunter's Mark, because our crit chance is already so high.
Do you believe I give my blessings liberally, Zagreus? Well, then I've news for you.
I've not seen enough Art of Demeter. That's what I'm getting from these first couple of encounters with her.
Sorry, Demeter.
Okay. A little bit messy, but we did it.
Next time, young Zagreus, perhaps I'll take every last bit of warmth you've left down there.
To be honest, we're in Hades, so if you could put the aircon on, that would be great. Your boons become common, and then gain rarity every 3 encounters, but it only affects 1 boon at random. We already have an epic. And it would get better and better and better. That would be the worst one to lose. I guess losing the Frost Flourish would be a slight shame. Or the Hunter's Mark. Well, the Hunter's... If we lose... No, if we lose either of these. So there's a 30% chance. Let's try it.
Which path?
Okay, it affected the Hunter's Mark. So it's gonna get stronger every time, which is great. Like the critical chance going up every time. We definitely want health. We're definitely still aching for health at the moment. Let's check we haven't missed anything in this room. Getting it early is exactly, yeah, getting it early. Even if we'd got it on the epic one, like we'd be able to build back up. Oh, I thought I had it, the button held there, but I think I was still in attack recovery. No, I took a hit there as well. That was... Oh, I saw the mark on that. Okay, there we go. Messy, but we're there. This would be nice. 23 health though. That's a lot to lose. I don't know if we can afford that necessarily. And we do have a shop. We have a lot of money. Ordinarily, I would buy this Hydrolite, and I still don't think it's bad, but it's quite expensive. And there's no guarantee that we'll get a heal in the shop. But I think I have, it would take me below 250, and I actually don't think I want to take, because if we can get a heart, we have 275, which means we could get a heart and a boon if they both come up. And hopefully, if we don't get a heart, hopefully we get a heal. If not, it is what it is. Okay, perfect. This is perfect. Right, we can safely buy this first because we know that the thing that boosts life gain does not affect buying life in the shop.
Could use the rod of fishing there.
The rod of fishing.
You're mine.
Another hellfish. Okay, I'll take it. And we'll definitely buy the spoon.
At first I didn't know how to get through to that odd riverboatman Charon. Turns out he lusts for coin, and now I understand him well.
You're saying everybody's got a price. And the $1 million Aphrodite always gets her way. Ah ha ha ha. Interesting. Passion Dash is one I like. I like inflicting the weak. It's a nice, reliable thing. It also means if you accidentally dash next to an enemy that's about to hit you, at least they hit you less hard. Life Affirmation is good. It's not as good as I initially thought maybe it would be. I guess, you know, when you think about 30% on a 25 health thing, that's like 8 health or so. It's not really amazing. Yeah, he only wanted a coin. That's reasonable. Listen, you know, everyone's got different things that they're into.
No love without pain.
Karen's not got anything to say today. We could gift him something, but we've already given him one thing. I don't really want to start gifting I know you can gift up to like, they have up to like 3 levels of stuff, but I don't want to, I don't want to worry about doing that until we've kind of given one nectar to basically everybody, or at least most of them. Or if we find that we have an excess of nectar.
Bet Tisiphoni's up.
I like that he just started guessing randomly, and he's got it wrong both times.
You're no god. You're nothing but a piece of trash. Born into all of this.
I'm not sure how fighting her with the shield is going to be. It's going to be interesting.
You seem to have me all figured out. And here I thought we were still getting to know each other.
Well, you want to know what I want? Here, I'll show you.
Should have blocked that. I love how she just spins in midair. That's really weird. Ah, walked into it. Okay, we got her. Give it all to Meg. Yeah, that's not unreasonable.
Ugh, that one.
Whew, hard fight. We made it through, just about. We did use a Death Defiance, which is unfortunate, but that's the way it goes sometimes. We have 2 of them now, so... I feel like she's maybe the toughest of the 3 at the moment. That's what it seems like. From initial impressions, having fought each of them about 3 times. Well, having fought Mega Bunch more, but having fought the other 2 about 3 times. Electo and Tisiphone. What trinket do I have on? Oh, I have the thing. This is actually like, we can pretty much guaranteed take this off. We'll see if there's anything worth buying first.
Let's think about this.
Don't want to take any of these off. I'll restore the health. I'll do that. Okay.
Maybe I should switch.
I think we probably just take the Lucky Tooth. For now. I don't feel too strongly about any of the other things. The Well of Charon item could be pretty good. I do quite like that. Or we could take an Athena and try and get some deflect. But with what we currently have, I don't know how I feel about that. So it's a shame you can't bring up your skills, your boons in this screen, because if you back out of it, you only get 1 chance. You don't get to check it again. Let's do this. We can carry on ranking it up. Second half was better than the first. Yeah, it did feel like that.
Should help.
Feels like it takes me a while to readapt to each encounter when I see them again.
Next floor.
Like, trying to balance when I should attack and when I shouldn't is still... I feel like I'm trying to always be going in and attacking. And maybe I should just play things a little bit slower. But then, like, I feel like if I spend too long playing it slow, then I'm just going to get hit a bunch anyway. So it's not always the solution.
You're gone.
Okay, that actually is like quite long range, that mark.
More, huh?
Oh, it must have been an enemy nearer to it, because there's no way that... The only thing I'm finding with the... I forgot he dropped bombs. The only thing I'm finding with the dash is I keep dashing like into hazards. Okay, rarity upgraded on the Hunter's Mark. So now there's 41%. Or it has a 41% crit chance, sorry. Alright, 1 second. I just need to send a message. Okay. Okay. Alright. Thank you for holding on there. There's a lot of money here. I think we have to do it. I don't like this room, I will say.
That is private property.
No time to lose.
Who is going to clean all this up?
Okay, 63 gold. Pretty solid.
Good enough.
I think health, given the options here. I don't feel too strong about Hermes.
Onward.
Okay. I feel like I try and throw the special too early. Like I'm like, oh, I've got to use it now. Now that I got the bonus from it. Okay.
Better.
All right. Again, 1 second. Okay. Just give my mum a message. Apparently my dad has got his jab booked in now for Friday, which is good. What was the choice? Gems. Yeah, I think we want to. This doesn't feel like a strong enough run that we can't just take things to help the run. Okay. Perfect. Perfect. Hi, Karen. No, not got anything to say. Okay, right, what do we want here? If I heal up, I can't take the random thing. These are usually a boon. I think I want the random thing more than an upgrade and a heal. Our health is okay, like on the whole. Like it could definitely be better, but it's not too shabby. We're not going into a boss encounter. I do like Zeus's call. It is quite nice. Or we could have the old lightning reflexes, which is of course a very nice thing to have. Let's get this call. I like this call. This call's done as well.
All right, Lord Zeus.
Okay, and onwards we go. Yeah, I hope. Thank you very much. I'm sure it'll be fine. They seem like relatively straightforward procedures on the whole. I'm just gonna get rid of this. Just worries me a little bit with it being there, to be honest. Okay, that wasn't too bad.
Hello there, Dionysus.
Have we gifted Dionysus yet? I think we must. I think we have done. I'm pretty sure we have done. It's nice that it homes in on exactly the right one. Yeah, we have given him one already. Okay. No drinks for you today, Dionysus. I'm sure he's got plenty of his own.
Hey, you must have had a run-in with the lovely Aphrodite, am I right or am I right there, Zag? But I have just the thing to go with her.
Ooh, the old festive fog. We do like festive fog. I really like After Party. One of my favorites. I'm going to take After Party. Such a good safety net.
How about another?
To stop you getting dripped out. All I can think of when I hear the Dionysus, when I hear Dionysus's voice now, is the like mock intro someone made for him, which if you haven't heard, I retweeted it a while ago. It's very good. I highly recommend it.
Next.
Ooh, down to 69 health. Again, I need to remember to use my cool. When we're not in boss fights, you may as well just use the minor cool. You don't tend to fill up the whole meter outside of a boss fight. Gold or health? Health is really good with the After Party because obviously it increases. Currently, what is our 40% of 150 is what, like 60 health. So, but obviously the more we get that up, the higher our 40% health buffer is going to be. Okay, easy does it. Okay, and there's our heal. Coming in good. Okay, so far, things feeling alright. We did take a little bit of damage there. This is a golden. Doesn't look like any ones over here are. I think I did take 1 damage doing that, but... like the precision is, this is one of the things I find a little bit more difficult, is just the precision on the movement. Like trying to land in exactly the right spot on the map. Like I sometimes find that a little bit of a challenge. We would be able to buy a heart or a pom if they had a pom. Or we could buy some healing if they had healing. I think I actually do go to the shop here, even though it's a little bit weird not being able to afford a boon. We'll probably be able to get something good. And I don't feel that strongly about the Palm of Power where we are now. How is our Hunter's Mark is now up to epic. 57% crit chance, which is pretty fantastic. That was a quick one. And we get a Slavog. He's just like off-brand Pokemon. The Phlegathon does not rank high on my own list of locations in which I would spend eternity given the choice, yet the Slavog seems as happy as a clam there in the River of Flame. And we haven't actually taken them to the guy yet. Now look at this, 2 boons. We do get a heal, which I think is well worth it. We get 70 health out of it. That's pretty good. A little bit of a shame. I would have liked to pick one of these up, but not to be. Sorry, didn't mean to attack you there, Karen. I keep bashing him. Okay, I think this is the boss fight. So I need to have a little think about what we're doing here. And there's not really too much to it. Just make sure we use... Our main thing is going to be just attacking, I think. We can actually probably just use the special at range against the main Hydra. But I think we're going to have to get in and hit the small ones at least.
I wouldn't mess with me if I were you.
He does have the chill on him as well, which is nice. I think I focus too much on health bars sometimes and not on the actual attacks, which obviously gets me in some trouble. Like, I need to spend more time looking at the animations and less time looking at the health bars. That hit says after we went through it, because it feels like it did. Now the Zeus Spoon I actually would like to use during this stage of the fight, probably. Oh, he's just absolutely going there. Try and build up the stacks of... Okay. That did actually feel better. I feel like maybe that's the thing I'm now realizing is I look too often at the health bars and not enough at the actual animations. Like, I get too caught up in the UI and I need to look more closely at just what the enemy's actually doing. And also maybe look at my character less. I think I definitely do that too much. I look at Zagreus and not at the things Zagreus is attacking. It's a learning process, you know. That's what this that's what it's all about. And that run went pretty okay, and we got buffed back up to a good amount of health. Actually, I don't know if we dropped down too much.
Still there, are you?
Oh, we're going.
Seems that way.
I think we keep the Skelly buff. I think it's, you know, 75 health is better than the in general. Obviously the 50 health would give us on the trinket would give us more restoration, so that is worth considering. But
why not?
I'll take the Zeus buff. I don't think we're going to want to sell everything here.
Wash away my boons.
Yeah, we're okay. We're okay. All right, just going to take another 2-minute break. Just grab another drink, and then we'll head off into the final zone. So just bear with me a second. Righto, thank you for your patience. We are back at it again with Zagreus and the gang. And just pull tab back into the game. Adjust my headset because it has dislodged itself. And onwards we go. Feeling pretty good about where we're at. Our build is okay. I feel like I learned a lot in that fight, even though it was a fairly straightforward fight. Part of it was straightforward because I was playing sensibly. I do sometimes think the particle effects can be a little much in this game. I think that maybe there's an option that turns them down a bit, which might be a thing to contemplate. I can't remember if that's this game or a different game I've been playing recently. But
just need to storm my way through that eternal paradise.
Definitely something to consider. I think we would get a good I still haven't quite worked out if the bull rush blocks things on the way. Okay, that felt good though, on the whole. And there we go, rarity upgraded, Hunter's Mark, heroic. After you do, I wonder, is there another thing between epic and legendary? I didn't realize that. After you do 72% critical chance, so 72% chance to do triple damage on a marked foe. That's the one with the big green thing on their head, which is fantastic. And it's actually, I thought it was when you killed an enemy. It's just after you do critical damage to a foe, which is pretty wild. And it lasts for 6 seconds, which is quite long. During your dash, your special is faster and deals 200% damage. Okay, huh. I think we have to take this. I was going to take this, but this sounds fantastic. Especially as we're using our special, it bounces a lot and it deals triple damage.
You just grow stronger.
Okay, so you can actually see the difference because you can see like it comes out there, it's like bluish, and then if I do this, it comes out with like a bit of a hue on it. It has pink, like pink glows around it a little bit more. A little hard to see, but I'm pretty confident that's what's happening there. I'm gonna stick with Artemis. She's done us well. I need to get used to the, like, it's AY, which is like a weird thing to push. So getting used to that is a little strange. All these crits though. In the name of Hades. Critical effects dealing even more damage. That would be nice. I actually think I want the cast here. Seeking foes is nice just because I feel like we were missing it a bit, especially in the Artemis, the Theseus and Asterius fight. So having a cast would be nice. It's long as well. The range on it is good. Okay. Actually, maybe the range isn't that much longer, but... I just want to see the... reread this. During your dash, your special is faster. I presume it means when you throw it, and not like... It does seem like, because it moves faster, right? So it seems like that goes that speed. It doesn't go, it doesn't seem to speed up if I dash mid thing. But if I dash when I throw it, okay. I think we're sticking with this. We wouldn't be able to buy anything particularly good in the shop. So this is the way that it seems we want to go.
Out of my way.
Oh, he just got hit by the trap. Press the advantage. Ah, his weakness is gone. Those arrows are pretty slow, so you can... pummel him into a wall. Oh, I forgot those just explode and you can't just having them bounce off the walls is really nice. Okay, that guy came back, but that's not the end of the world. I really should compare my damage more. Like look at the numbers of what everything's doing. I need to get a single enemy to do that.
Olympus, I accept this message.
Interesting, your dash strike deals more damage. It counted as a dash. It replaces the passion dash. Critical effects deal more damage to armor. That sounds fantastic, honestly. I think I'm going to take that because double damage to armor. Armored foes are pretty dangerous. Obviously, not many bosses are armored, but armored foes are a big threat. Restore health. This would be great. We're probably not going to lose 100 health doing it, he says. Foolishly.
You truly are an idiot, aren't you?
This is actually a nightmare little room we got here. Okay, that wasn't actually as bad as I thought it was going to be. What was that? What happened at the end there? We took a bit of extra damage out of nothing, but it's okay because we restore. Oh, and we also get. I like that we keep getting neck out of this. It seems to be out of the. No, actually, last time it was out of a money one. I wonder if it's just based on how well you perform. Okay, do we want more freeze or do we want more weak? I would actually like to. I'd be interested to see what more chill effects we have. I feel like we've not seen a lot of Demeter in action.
Minos.
You bested the champion himself, which means that I have little hope of vanquishing you here.
Ah, come on, don't be too hard on yourself, Asterius. You're the more dangerous one, to be honest.
So then why bother fighting me? You don't have to do this. That Theseus has a highly questionable influence on you.
He has given him some style, I'll give him that.
I see you plain, short one. I too was born of darkness, but I chose the path of light.
Is this Kingdom Hearts?
Even in death, it was not too late. Not even for a monster such as I. I trust your deaths will likewise be enlightening.
Okay, knowing we can block him is actually really nice. Play it slow here, play it safe, right? This is the thing, is it's so tempting just to... But why, when I can block his damage? Okay, I missed that cast altogether. I like how he's completely blue because of the chill. I feel like sometimes when I'm in a combo, trying to come out of that and block is sometimes risky, and maybe I should just dodge and block. I also keep forgetting to dodge special. Actually, this is a good test, right? I'll wait till we've he stopped running. Okay, he's lost his cast as well, which is good. Okay, right. That does 28 damage. I didn't even see how much that does. And that does... Okay, that was a backstab though. 58. So yeah, it definitely is more damage. Okay, he's done. Bit of a messy fight, but I feel like I learned a little bit. Got a little bit of testing in.
Until such time.
I'm off to play on my Xbox.
Cheers for the fight. Good, good.
Good, good indeed.
Hear me on my authority.
On my authority. Completely chill your foe. Is nice. When you have no cast, take less damage and deal 30% more. This is okay, but the problem is this would be better if we had the other cast, because our cast regenerates every 3 seconds. So we actually have our cast all the time. Applying 10 stacks of chill causes a blast, an area effect blast, and clears it. I don't feel strongly about any of these. I mean, this is nice, but also, like, we are going to have our cast a lot of the time, just by the way that our cast works. Tough. $20 damage is not a lot, but complete chill is pretty good. Actually, I'm going to take this, even though I don't think it's as good on the thing we have, because it is 3 seconds, which is all this time to deal bonus damage. We should have to remember to use our cast regularly. And I do think it's better than the other two. The problem with these archers is you need them to all be on the same side as you. Oh, of course there's an egg. I want to get this egg, the butterfly egg, down. No! I hit a butterfly! That's such a bad way to lose a Death Defiance. You damn egg! Ah, that's the one hit as well. We just ran into a butterfly. Oh, that's galling. We would have been full heal, well not full heal, but we would have got our health back if we hadn't lost that. Those archers at the start did us a real disservice, I think. Probably going to be money here. We're getting close to the end. You know, obviously money is pretty good in the final stages because it lets you buy a few things. Oh, free money.
Himself built all of this.
And a heal. Very welcome. Those fountains are pretty good. Those damage effects did not sell me too much. And I would like more health. So I'm going to take it. Yeah, the stupid sexy butterfly is luring me in.
You can't stop me.
Really what I want you to do is use my cast and then do the double dash and just throw it.
No chance. What's regenerating?
Ah, got him back. I tell you what, our call actually goes up pretty quickly.
That's better.
I'll say that. Okay. Hydrolite, always good. Cast dealing more damage would be nice. I don't mind taking it on the cast because it is a smaller part of our damage. Sure.
Just what I need.
Still leaves us with 250, which is enough to go to a shop. We actually have money coming up anyway, so. Normally they put the exit doors within view of each other, so you can't super easily miss one.
Thanatos.
Quite a mess you've
Oh,
made
hello.
there, Zagreus. Let's see who's better
Thanatos
than
on this
Zagreus.
area is tough, as we've established.
I doubt this will take very long at all.
No doubt at all from me.
Come over here. Come over here. Don't stand in the big thing, you'll die. Come over this way. Come over this way. Come away from his big AoE. Yeah, he's still ahead of us in count at the moment.
Must be the last of them.
No! I want him dead. That's close. Ah, damn you. He's too good. He's too quick for us. We could give him can we give him a nectar? No. Okay. I guess maybe you have to do that before you talk to him the first time. Or maybe you just can't give him a nectar. I mean, he is the Lord of the Dead. Oh, not the Lord of the Dead. He's Death Incarnate, I suppose.
Don't, thanks to me. Seems I'm left to thanking myself since you're too proud to do it.
All right. I mean, to be fair, we did better against him than we have done when we've faced off against him in whatever this place is called before. It's funny. I said the name of this place like several times earlier, and I've now forgotten it again. But we'll definitely go to the shop. Elysium, I believe, is the name of the place. Okay, well, we can buy a health. Hello, Karen. Okay, nothing to do with Karen. Can we fish here? Can we fish into the clouds? Nice little fruit and vegetable carts he's got going on. Little side business. I think we can buy everything here. That's what, 250, 300? Yeah, we...
Here's the fee.
More health.
Well, look at you.
Nice.
Critic flex deal more damage to weak foes. Do we even have any weak? I mean, that would be nice. But I don't know if we have any weak. Oh, our passion dash. That would actually be good because we're dashing in on enemies and attacking them. So that feels like an easy pick to me. Heart rend. And of course, the health. Unfortunately, still no more death defiances. Here goes nothing. Take it slow. We know how to fight Asterius now. The risk is that we have to fight Theseus at the same time.
Back once more, drawn as he is, much like the unassuming moth unto the flame of righteousness.
Oh no, not the flame of righteousness. You finished? Let's get this started. I've come a long way.
Hear that, Asterius? Our fiendish visitor is begging us for mercy. Begging us, no doubt, to drop our guard. Together now, my friend, let's vanquish him, and may the glory of Olympus guide us.
I guess we don't necessarily have to do them in the order that we have done. It just feels easier that way.
Not ready to admit defeat as yet.
I thought I healed up there. Ah, went for the block there. I don't need to really watch Theseus most of the time as long as I'm not near him. I just need to watch for if he's trying to cast on me. I love how it's just constant near misses when he's doing this. Getting that bonus damage is great if you can.
No, Asterius!
Oh, bonus damage.
What is the matter, fiend? Is your weak sense of resolve already shaken?
Ah, there goes the Death Defiance. I think I need to be a little more. Now it's one-on-one. Like I've not yet fought Theseus in close combat, and it's weird. Oh, damn it.
Aha, the sweetness of revenge.
Fair play, Theseus. Fair play. I feel like I was fine on the Asterius bit, but losing our Death Defiances earlier really hurt us. We got to give a fish to the head chef. I need to remember to do that.
Oh, I just knew that you'd be back soon as I heard you face the champion of Elysium himself. You know, I've heard that among mortals, it's an honor to be killed by somebody like Theseus. Keep it up and maybe you'll be famous too.
Maybe.
I'm feeling pretty good about our runs. You know, I did say today, I don't know that we're going to make it further than we did last time, and we didn't, but we made it past Asterius and Theseus for a second time, and then to them a third time. Or not a third. We made it past them a second time, and then to them a fifth time, I guess. So, we're doing okay.
You're much too modest, Lord Achilles, for someone with such a number of heroic deeds and glorious decapitations to his name. You ought to be more like ever boastful Zagreus and talk it up some more.
Hey.
Oh, fear not, Orpheus. I was quite boastful in my day. And would you look at where it got me? Besides, I've not the imagination to come up with tales as tall as those of our Prince Zagreus.
What can I say? I try.
Let's see if there's anyone. How we looking in our. We've not given Dusa a thing. I sometimes offer my assistance, though it is here the little gorgon bares her fangs, refusing any help. Though I can clearly see my own reflection in our polished countertops, suggests she doesn't need it either. Well, Dusa did ask if we wanted a drink, so let's see if we can offer her a drink.
Miss Dusa, I wanted you to have this. It's nothing really, just for your hard work.
Prince, I'm really grateful for this, really, and I thought I kind of got something for you.
Thanks, Miss Dusa.
A harpy feather duster.
I just wanted to apologize because I think maybe I didn't act very appropriately last time you spoke to me. But I just really like this job, and I promise I will always do my very best, so I just hope I'll have another chance.
I just want to give her a hug, which is impractical because she doesn't have a body, but...
Dusa, please, there's no need to apologize.
I do like how everyone's like, Dusa, you're amazing, you're doing a great job. Just calm down.
What? You really mean it, Prince? Thank you. Thanks so much.
I also just love that she just fucking... She just... Whoop. I wish I could do that. Of all the abilities in this game, there's a lot of cool abilities that people have in this game. The ability to just, like, at the end of a conversation, just be like, see ya. Just fly off into the sky. Pretty great.
Always have more pets for the greatest boy.
Please.
He's a good lad.
Notoriously vicious Cerberus is watching quietly his master's court.
I do like the idea of Cerberus just like chilling, just lying on the floor rather than always being the vigilant watchdog.
You have been keeping our contractor rather busy, I must say. Commissioning these frivolous projects around the house with the wealth you wrest from my domain. What are you hoping to achieve?
Oh, you know, just giving back to the community. Figure if I'm to keep getting dragged back here, it might as well be somewhat livable.
Livable? When last I checked, making the underworld livable was not among our top priorities. Just remember, in your brazenness, whose house this is.
Liveliness, not the number one.
Well aware, thanks.
Not the number one quality of the House of Hades. Don't think we can do anything else at the moment. Unfortunately, not. We don't even have enough to buy a couple of keys.
The head chef is going to want this fish.
Head chef is going to want this fish.
Cooking's one way to pass the time. Here's what I caught lately.
Oh, cool.
Done deal.
10 gems and a key. Perfect. That is good. Okay, you know what? Fishing. Worthwhile.
Let's see here. 20
gemstones for 2 keys. An interesting idea. We're not really looking to... I'm actually going to probably spend 10 gemstones on 1 key and go the other way, because I would like to... It's a kind of... in a way, I guess I understand why they don't do this, but it'd be cool if it was like, oh, you could get 30 gemstones for 1 key. But then you would just always do it. And then just turn it back into keys if you wanted to. So I guess I see why that doesn't make sense. But I do want to turn 10 gemstones into a key.
Too good to pass up.
Great voice. Oh, who's this? Is this the chef? Oh, it's the house contractor. Hey! Well done, house contractor. See, he is being recognized for his work. Fantastic. That's what we like to see. I wonder who organizes that.
It's never bedtime here.
Too true.
The fated list of minor prophecies.
Ooh, power without equal. Ah, the legendary boons. So we've had the divine protection, which we got from Athena. Wanton ransacking. Various armored wardens guarding key underworld chambers. Okay. So these are the mini bosses. Dire Inferno Bomber, that's the two that throw stuff at you. The Doomstone is the laser one. The Wretched Sneak, I'm presuming, is the one that backstabs you. Dire Void Stone. I don't remember what the Dire Void Stone is. The Mega Gorgon is the big Gorgon with the thing that slams on you alongside it. I can't remember the Dire Void. Oh, no, that's not the soul. I think that's the Spreader. Is the one that the Skull Crusher and the Soul Catcher. And there are more, which are presumably in the final zone, because the House of Styx has boss rooms that we haven't actually been into yet, just because we haven't had the opportunity. Well, we had the opportunity on one run, but we didn't take it. I kind of want to see, yeah, Wretched Sneak. This is the enemy. What does it say about him? I am unfit to judge those who in their mortal days made work of taking lives. In my case, such bloodshed was sanctioned, even honoured as a necessary consequence of war. But there are those who took lives for no cause other than personal gain, and now, even in death, they serve the highest bidder. We got some more stuff on the Skullamat. Within an endless litany of numbskulls waits to clatter forth, mindlessly preying on what little life essence they are like to find. Inferno Bomber, we've got all of this. As if forged bronze is insufficient in its keen ability to put an end to a life, there have been those who studied the eldritch art of chemistry to fashion devastating fiery devices known as bombs. They likely all fell victim to their own inventions, but even though they are now rightfully where they belong, their limitless desire for destruction yet keeps them intact. And the Slam Dancer, the marauding warriors that once lived in sin and lusted after murder, now reborn beneath the earth, eternally reliving the final violent moments of their days of war and strife. They now have nothing left except their impulse towards bloodshed, or the shedding of whatever can be torn asunder by their claws. I was kind of hoping to see the spreader. What are you? What are you? Oh, yeah, they're the ones that do. Oh, the dire spreaders are the ones that fire off all the spread shots. That does make sense. The dire skull crusher is the big one that comes with the mega gorgon. Splitter, the bright sword, and the long spear. We've got both of these. We should read some of these that we've actually seen. The bright sword, the exalted, such as the blade-wielding bright swords, are bound to the arms they carried when they fell in battle as mortals. When severed from those arms, they make a desperate grasp for them so they can fight some more. In life, I knew so many warriors who would throw away their lives for glory, believing that the gods were on their side, refusing to consider, for how could they, that their hated opponents felt the very same. Yet, gods and mortals do look upon this type of single-minded devotion with respect, and so these envied souls do wind up in Elysium, where they can fight on and on until they go blue in the face. The long spear. I know what they can do only too well. Their endless training regimen takes influence from the specific martial style I strove to perfect in life, the spear always having been my preferred weapon for its reach and versatility. These exalted souls are of course masters of arms and would not have been placed within Elysium for simple military feats alone, yet if the choice avails them, they would brandish those spears of theirs and fight with the terrible wrath of a starved wolf. That is their idea of heaven. And strongbow, everyone's favourite cheap drink. I always thought archers were simple cowards, no matter their skill. But I am not the one deciding who enters Elysium, as can plainly be seen by the abundance of such skillful arrow flingers as the exalted strongbows, as they are sometimes known. They revel still in seeing who among them can let loose their arrows with the greatest skill, preferring live target practice to the more conventional kind. Death can no longer stop them from improving their mastery, however slowly that improvement comes at this late stage in their careers. Okay, many things learned. These damn snake stones did us a real disservice. Got a little bit about ambrosia. Mortals must regularly nourish themselves with food and drink merely to stave off death. The gods of Olympus have no such fear and consume only for the sake of traditional revelry. They have access to all the splendours and delicacies the world has to offer, yet they favour one in particular, and only very rarely does it make its way down here into this realm. And that's pretty much all for today, I think. That's going to do it. We've been going for quite a while.
Been waiting over here.
Don't suppose I can talk you into fighting back this time?
Not a chance, boyo. I'm paid to take it, not to dish it out. Now give it to me.
Well, that's one way to say it. That's a hell of a line.
Okay.
Very sexy. Bow. We're back on the bow, huh? That's how it's going to be. Oh, we did get a new thing from Dusa. Broken urns have a 3% chance to contain health regen items. That's pretty cool. That's a pretty cool little... I don't know how I feel about that. I mean, I guess the more it goes up, the better. I don't know what I'm going to take to start off with next time. Maybe we'll start off with the Shattered Shackle again. See if we can get it ranked up. I don't know that I think it's amazing, because you do get boons pretty quickly. But if you don't always get one on your attack. Sometimes early boons are something simple. And having the extra buff on them can be good. I do feel like my biggest thing at the moment is maybe just trying... Because you can only do one thing at once, right? Like, you can't... I can't cast and attack and throw my thing all at once. And so sometimes I get too caught up in trying to use everything. I'm like, oh, well, I've got to cast, and I've got to use my dash, and I've got to use my my special. And it gets a little bit much, and you have to be careful about that. About picking your moment. And picking which attacks you're going to use, and not just wildly doing everything. Because I think you can kind of fall into a trap of trying to do too many different things at once, and that does throw me off sometimes.
The chambers of Tartarus have probably all rearranged themselves by now.
But that's going to be it for today, for Hades. Thank you everyone who joined me. It was a pleasure having you all here. It was lovely to see you. Thank you very much again to Behold the CJ for coming in with a raid and hanging out with us. And I hope you all have a lovely rest of your evening. I hope you all sleep well, of course. Stay safe, stay hydrated, eat well, sleep well, and look after yourself, of course, and look after others as well. And I will catch you on the next one. Take care. Cheers!